else. If we're able to do that, maybe we don't have a winning car today, but if we can put ourselves in a position at Bristol, we just have points that allow us to point our way in with a solid run, then we're doing exactly what we need to do, Marty.
Parker, today will be an interesting day for Tyler Reddick. Many people felt like Reddick had the best car in practice, but they surprisingly only qualified 16th for the race. His crew chief Billy Scott told me, we just missed it on our qualifying adjustments, but we have a plan to get our track position back. Even though he starts mid-pack, don't count Tyler Reddick out of the mix for the win. Parker, let's bring you back in. So with a new tire, all the changes to the track, how do you manage all the unknowns as a driver?
Well, Marty, it's a great point, and I think one of the things is, as a driver, that's where you have to adapt, and you have to have that mind share open to adapt and find yourself in a position where you're identifying things to do something different. That's the key.
And these crew chiefs just have no idea what's going to happen today, which makes it fun for all of us and everyone at home. Let's get the engines cranked for race number 2 of the Cup Series playoffs.
Glen International. This is a moment you have been waiting for. Please welcome from the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, Board of Director Mike Logan, along with PBA and PWBA Pro Bowlers, Brad Miller, Kyle Sherman, and Verity Crawley.
Drivers, start your engines!
Viewers, I am standing in what I believe is one of the most unique corners in all of American motorsports, and especially for NASCAR. You approach turn 1 here at Watkins Glen at around 160 miles an hour into a downhill braking zone. You see that curve on the inside? You think you want to get there, and you will get there, but it's what you do after that, where I'm standing out here on the outside. This runoff will actually use all this. NASCAR tried to put these grooves in the racetrack to stop the drivers, but oh no. We still find ourselves out here because there's so much speed to be had if you are risking running all the way out here to the edge of the track. We'll see which drivers do it best. We come back.
A bed with a bump in your erection might be painful, embarrassing, difficult
penis
to talk
commercial
about, and could be Peyronie's disease or PD, a real medical condition that urologists can diagnose and have been treating for more than 8 years with Xiaflex, the only FDA-approved non-surgical treatment for appropriate men with PD. Along with daily gentle penile stretching and straightening exercises, Xiaflex has been proven to help gradually reduce the bend. Don't receive if the treatment area involves your urethra or if you're allergic to any of the ingredients. May cause serious side effects, including penile fracture or other serious injury during an erection, and severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Seek help if you have any of these symptoms. Do not have any sexual activity during and for at least 4 weeks after each treatment cycle. Sudden back pain reactions and fainting can happen after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have a bleeding condition or take blood thinners, as risk of bleeding or bruising at the treatment site is increased. Join the tens of thousands of men who've been prescribed Xiaflex. Make an appointment with a Xiaflex-trained urologist. Visit bencarrot.com to find one today.
It's good to get some fresh air.
Fresh air?
Hi, guys.
Bill, you look great.
Now that I have Inspire, I'm free from struggling with the mask and the hose.
Inspire?
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside my body with a click of this button.
No mask.
No hose.
Just sleep.
Give me this thing.
Where are you going?
I'm going to get Inspire.
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Learn more and view important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series is coming to the CW.
He's going to go for the lead.
It all begins in Bristol.
This is his race.
When Dale Earnhardt Jr. joins the field.
I love this racetrack.
Against the series' top drivers in a final playoff tune-up.
It's about to get crazy.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series. Check your local listings.
The NASCAR playoff run continues.
At Watkins Glen, the race unfolds 11 turns at a time.
A story spun in 90 chapters. A 221-mile Legends quest. Around each turn, there will be drama, thrills, and spills.
Oh, and he creamed it. There will be heroes and villains.
After this wild cast of characters strap into their seats.
Well, here we go. Good luck, sir.
Because we're all on this ride together. As this story plays out in real time. Clear by 5.
I will be leaving the field to start the race.
still doesn't work. Okay.
Team drivers punt each other in this turn. That's what these fans want. Hot tippers in turn one. Bagley, we've seen races won and lost in this corner.
And once you leave turn one, it's to the S's. Turns 2, 3, and 4. This is a make or break portion of this racetrack. If you nail it, you carry a lot of speed, and you are obviously able to put a good lap in. But if you blow it, your day could be done if it happens at the wrong time. Dylan?
Mike, I'm at the end of the back straightaway at the exit of the bus stop. This is a tricky set of corners that are imperative if you get right. You need a car that can change directions quickly and comfortably. That'll take you out of the bus stop and into the carousel. The long 180-degree right-hand turn that leads you back to the front stretch. But first, they get to turn 6 in front of Jeff Burton.
Yeah, when they come off that carousel, they're absolutely flying, using all of the racetrack. And turn 6 is a great passing opportunity. You can get side by side, kind of push somebody off the road. If you don't fit them, though, you turn it going into turn 7, and turn 7 is one of the tightest,
what the hell?
fast corners
We
in all
got
of
two races
NASCAR.
going on today. IndyCar has
New
their season
York's
finale
Finger
at
Lakes
Nashville.
District is such a beautiful
And
place
we
to visit
have
any time
Watkins
of the
Glen.
year,
Glen,
but especially when NASCAR is in town. Motorsport in Watkins Glen was established with
Alex
sports
Palou, I
cars,
think,
made
has
famous by
this
Formula One.
low-powered-
But more than any
low-powered
form of racing,
really
it's been
good
NASCAR's road racing home, and now it's in the playoffs for the very first time. NBC Sports welcomes you to the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs from Watkins Glen International. It's time for the Go Bowling at the Glen. Second race of the 2024 playoffs. Hi folks, Lee Diffie along with Steve Letarte. Steve, I just outlaid the history here. You know it all too well. But is this going to be one of those days, considering that it's the first time the Glen has been in the playoffs?
Driver intros. Here's the two-time champion, Alex Palou. We will have a three-time champion by the end of the day, and Power is on his way. This is going to be fun, Townsend.
Alex, here comes Will Power. He's just behind you and closing. Alex, last year at this time we were in California. You were already celebrating. You had already won the championship. The championship has tightened up, though. It seems like in the last couple weeks the bar keeps raising. You had the battery issue at Milwaukee. Now you've got an engine penalty. You got to start at the back. What's it feel like this year compared to last? How tough is the challenge now?
Well, I gotta say the atmosphere here has been amazing on driver intros and also here. So it'll be sad not to have
Time
you guys
Traveler
next
moves
year. I
rock
hope we
the
can still have
timeline.
you guys next year calling our races because you guys are the best. But having that said, I'm excited. Yeah, obviously Milwaukee wasn't great with that battery failure. Nothing we could have done. Yesterday we thought we were going to fight a little bit more to start up front on pole, but qualified 15th plus 9 places, 24th. So not great, but still we can make it. We have a fast car. We have a great team. And the idea is to move up front and try and get this championship home.
James, the guy hunting him down is with you.
He is. He having to run in a little bit out of breath there, Will. Probably not the kind of exercise you want before a race. But, Will, you've been in this championship position before. But racing can be an absolute roller coaster of results and emotions. You think back to Portland, dominant win, then Milwaukee, unforced error, maybe some lost points. How does a driver in this position
This is what, Nashville Super
all
Speedway?
those thoughts and feelings of the highs and lows and
Ooh,
just
this will
focus
be
on the job at
interesting.
hand in what is almost a must-win situation for you?
Yeah, I mean that is racing all in all. Like you're going to have those ups and downs. I feel grateful that we got to this point, that we actually have a shot. Obviously, we're relying on Alex to have a bad day, and we have to have an excellent day. But we'll do our best. I think it will be quite mixed up with the red tires. I certainly saw a lot of cars fall off a lot, but some held on to them. So I really, I don't know how this is all going to play out, and whether it's even a 3 or 4 stop. It's going to be tire based.
We come back to a track that is very narrow in group, got the big bump down there. You have been able, though, to have a magical ability at avoiding disaster this year. How do you do this? I mean, this is Long Beach. We have several clips of you just barely missing moments that can take you out.
Yeah, honestly, pure luck, and honestly, I had won almost every race, even last week in Milwaukee when I think the 2 and first crash, I almost lost it there. So it's been close this year. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully we can keep our nose clean once again. Like we've been doing all year.
You seem to have made all the right moves at the right time.
We'll have a 3-time champion by the end of the day. It'll be either Alex Palou or Will Power. Gentlemen, good luck. Thank you.
We highlight these superstars, but there are so many other stars that make things happen. You got to get things done on pit lane.
Toyota Camry XSE is the official pace car for today's race. There it is.
You can confirm how it runs too, can't you?
Well,
took us for a ride in that old Camry.
Little
Pretty
Moss.
well around the Glen.
Mr. Burton wasn't all that kind to it, so we knew that it was up to it. That's for sure. So
Ross
we're
in a
getting
Busch
ready to
Light
roll,
car.
and Steve and Jeff and Marty and everybody has
Means I have
explained
to change my
just
beer
how
my
crucial
beer
it is to
voice
do
now to
well.
Busch
He's
Light.
on
I have to be a
mine. We
Busch
just
Light
talked
guy,
about Brad
which I'm not
Keselowski.
opposed
He's
to
1
because
point
Busch
on
Light
the
is
wrong
actually
side
good.
of that cut line for the next round, the round of 12. Ty Gibbs won to the good. Joey Logano proudly in yellow right at the top.
Yeah, my driver's fun. He drives a beer car. Let's go.
Because you look at Truex all the way down at -19, but you see him right there on the front row. I actually think even though he's in a point deficit, he can make something happen here. He can get those points back.
hard monsters.
And all the way up. This is a track I mentioned in the pre-race. There'll be 30 cars on the lead lap. It can look good. Your driver can have an issue right
Well,
here.
if Ross
in one of the
wins,
last two corners on the last
we'll be
lap,
buying
and you can lose 20 or
a
25 points.
12er of Busch Light.
Truex Jr.'s crew chief said, "It's time that our luck changed." The last couple of races.
Yeah, now I can do a little tradition like you. When Reddick wins, you go. Well, I mean, you drink Monster anyway, but
and got collected, and the car was heavily damaged. So can it be
you drink a Monster because Reddick wins, and I can drink Busch Light when Ross wins.
Full-time Cup driver.
Ross never wins again.
Former champion and Ryan Blaney, who starts 30th today. Steve mentioned at the pre-race show, an interesting race coming up for this 12 team. I talked to his crew chief, Jonathan Hassler, this morning, and he said, honestly, we just haven't had pace all weekend. So I'm going to kind of do the opposite of what all the other crew chiefs do. If I can collect stage points at any point today, I'm going to take that opportunity. They had a terrific Atlanta race. They wound up third despite some adversity during that race. Can they recover again today here at Watkins Glen, Parker?
And Marty, for Denny Hamlin, the 11 team, it was highly publicized last week because he was quite vocal about it. The fact that he went in that race in Atlanta wanting 20 points because they historically had not done well at super speedways. They only netted 13 points, and Chris Gabehart, his crew chief, told me, you know, we didn't really know about that plan of his, but we supported it because it was founded in logic. It didn't really work out, but he said, we had a meeting on Monday where I told him that's a loser mentality.
Ex-girlfriend.
In this race shot with that
ex-girlfriend.
he raced to win on the 11 team. They're starting 22nd today, but he told me we have a lot more speed in this car, and we believe we've got great long run speed, which is historically what Denny Hamlin does well. So we'll see if that 11 team is able to get that.
IndyCar drivers trying to be like NASCAR drivers is funny.
I like the strategy, just not how they went around it, but this is how you go around the Glen. Turn one, downhill, heavy braking, a lot of runoff driver left, and you still head downhill.
Race winner, safety truck 3.
By the way, this was recorded on Friday with our chopper. 124 feet of elevation change around these 2.5 miles. Not the longest track, but boy, is it fast and
This is cool. The drone cam showing the track layout.
Stop right here. A quick right, a quick left, and the car almost gets pitched out of the bus stop into the carousel that lasts forever. A long downhill sweeping.
I did not.
You're going to hear us talk a lot today about tire degradation
They look nice.
and the tire fall off. You're also going to see us highlight and talk about the marbles, the discarded balls of rubber that are just off the line. And if you see somebody kind of have a strange line and don't come back, you can bet that they got caught in those marbles.
Yeah, once you hit those marbles, it's ice. The car just goes straight. It's like hitting black ice on a country road. You basically are out of control. You're not controlling your vehicle. You just hope when you regain control, it hasn't hit anything quite yet.
Let's have a listen to a last-minute pep talk aboard the 22 of Joey Logano.
Look at there, guys. Good job last week. Earned a little bit of fun today and get to go for it, so have fun with that. Make the most of it. Try to get some bonus points. Have fun. Good luck.
All right, you ready? We're going to use words like fast, frantic, chaotic. It's 20 laps of the first stage, 90 laps in total, but this first stage is going to be all about going for it, establishing yourself and setting yourself up for a good day. The lights are off on the Toyota Camry pace car. The Go Bowling at the Glen is ready to roar into life. It's time to bring the action at one of the best road courses in the world. Ross Chastain, who missed out on making the playoffs, but he might be able to help himself and his teammate. We're racing on a road course in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs.
Let's go, Ross.
Let's go here at the Glen. Good start from Chastain, but and Shane Van Gisbergen right behind him. Truex coming on the outside with Bowman as well. Great start, Chastain.
Ross Chastain away with the lead, but he can't get too far away. Here's Truex. Truex in the 19 is going to look to his inside in 2. Can't get the job done. 3, now 4-car breakaway up front. They're side by side for 5th. That is Austin Cindric in that orange 2-car. Right now racing side by side as they lead turn 4.
Daniel Suarez right there as well at the back of that duo. Now
Mid-Rick.
Austin Cindric peeks out of line on Cindric. This is a race for position just inside the top 5 as they work into the bus stop for the first time. Cindric, the outside lane. That's not preferred through that portion of the bus stop. It is preferred here. Give that spot to Cindric. Now wreck. Christopher Bell out of the bus stop. Other cars involved. Looks like Kyle Busch is in there as well as a few others. Everybody should be able to drive away, but the Busch car is going backwards, headed down the bus stop.
And Denny Hamlin involved in that as well. Jeff, he's coming your way.
Let's go. Let's go, Denny Hamlin's fucking junk.
On his car, left rear quarter panel. A lot of smoke on the cars on this back straightaway. Denny Hamlin's car is damaged. Don't know if it's just a flat tire or if it's suspension damage. Caution flies over here.
Caution, oh, dude.
Denny Hamlin rolling by me right now. It's hard for me to know if it's
chaos already. We have chaos.
Starting in the back, needed a clean start, got anything but. Blaney, Hamlin, both involved. Let's take a look, Diff. It's the bus stop. We heard him call it live. 2 wide up front, but they got through there clean. Back here a little bit further, you see a little tire lock up, a little bit of smoke, and then right there, kind of all on his own. The 8 gets spun around, and they pile in. Such a fast area of the racetrack. I thought that the 12 got through clean. Right there, a little bit of contact. It was interesting because he's down here at the bottom of the screen. I'm not sure what happened. Let's take another look.
Corey? Did he commit terrorism?
Corey LaJoie in the 7. Watch on the outside too. Kyle Larson got extremely lucky. That's the moment where Busch gets turned.
Or did Kyle just get
Christopher Bell, look at him go sideways and around.
What I don't understand is what happens to
Bell
Blaney.
didn't have any damage.
Right, he's right here in the middle, just kind of going out of sight. We see the damage to the 11. Oh, this is on board Ty Gibbs. Oh, I said on his own. That might have been an exaggeration. I do believe the 7 got a little contact with the 8. Got it turned around there.
Here's the view from Hamlin.
Just wham.
Oh, right there.
Yep.
Right
Oh, he broken toe link.
So was that a late hit there from Montoya on Blaney, or had the damage already been done?
I still haven't really seen what happened. Look at Chris Pusher got through. I really haven't seen a good view of what happened to Blaney. I think we kind of see the cause. We see the effect. Right, so here's the cause right here. The 7 from the grass over, catches the left rear of the 8 at the top of your screen as they spin. Everybody comes in. Now, right side of the screen, the yellow and white car into Brad Keselowski. Maybe it broke something in the left front. There was heavy contact with Brad, and then it looks like Blaney just goes straight.
Yeah.
So that contact with the driver of the 6 must have been what damaged. Well, here you go. On board, Blaney.
Oh, I make contact with Brad.
Yeah, the worst that happened to Larson is some of that blue got chipped off of his paint. Yeah, dude. Camera's dead.
You had to unload, have speed, qualify better.
And I think he got into the back of Ty a little bit because of that checkup with Corey, but that's if he got into the back of Ty. If not, he didn't touch anybody. That's the only thing I could think if he touched anybody.
Blaney and Hamlin, I think, are the 2 playoff drivers that have the most damage.
Here it is again. Marty,
dude, Ross gets the pole and we have chaos on lap 1.
So Ryan did not explain what happened, but here's the issue. He now has a broken steering column,
Blaney's done.
And it won't steer at all. You see him being towed back to the garage or back to the pit road.
Oh my god, dude. Next week's gonna hit like crack. Bristol's gonna hit like crack, dude.
Odd direction, Steve, if that actually maybe happened before all the wreck happened in front of him.
Well, and towing him back, he's done, right? The damaged vehicle policy, when you're in an accident, you can't go to the garage and make repairs, so it's going to be day over for the 12 of Blaney, who came in 45 points above the cut line. The 11 of Hamlin, because he could drive back, he can make repairs. Parker, a lot of damage for Denny Hamlin.
Right, and you pointed that out. Chris Gabehart asked him after the wreck happened, if you can drive it, go another lap so we can get prepared. They identified the left rear toe link is obviously damaged on the left rear. You see the damage on the right front as well, but the team going about this methodically and getting that plan in place. As he took that lap, we'll see what they can do here. Disaster for this 11 team to start this playoffs in 2024. Remember, last week only getting 13 points after being involved in an incident in Atlanta, and now here in the first lap after qualifying in 22nd, being involved in this incident.
Look at all the preparation, mechanic underneath the wheel well. You see the case there, the clear plastic case with probably other parts and pieces, a little carry toolbox. You see the sparks fly right there. What happens with that toe link breaks is it can actually bend the bolt or pin. So while you think it's just as easy as 2 bolts, unbolt it, put the next one in, you actually have to probably cut the bolt loose. Now these teams have pre-measured all of those toe links. They'll have a left rear, a right rear, all set to the perfect length, assuming something else isn't bent. So right here is something that this crew would have practiced in their garage back in Mooresville, North Carolina, actually down in Huntersville in North Carolina. You practice this, but I can assure you, practice is nothing like leaning over that 500-degree rotor with the pressure of the pace car making laps. If you can't get this fixed within time, Jeff, you're going to be out of the race.
That's 100% right, Steve. And this all goes back. Remember the conversation that we've had all week about Denny Hamlin making the decision to ride around the back and to get a few points at Atlanta, thinking he could come here and get points.
1 second, I'll be back.
If that strategy didn't work out, where possibly he earned some points last week and doesn't get many this week, he could go to Bristol in a must-win situation. This is potentially worst-case scenario for Denny Hamlin.
And for fellow playoff driver Ryan Blaney, he is officially out of this race at the Glen. In the yellow car coming towards you, Christopher Bell involved in that. The opening lap was not good for playoff drivers.
All right, now moving on to the car.
Back racing with them next year. And, dude, we're just going to go out there, have fun, try and win a race, and make the most of it. But you'll see me up there in lane 3.
All right, keep your eye on the 14. He's going to be fun to watch, as always, Georgia.
Absolutely. Another driver to watch coming from the very tail of the field. That's Nolan Siegel. We saw him practice one yesterday. He took a heavy hit to the back of that Arrow McLaren number 6 car. He was okay. The car was not. They went to work on that. The crew was here until midnight yesterday, swapping everything out, making sure everything was okay. He got to go out for that last practice session. Unfortunately, he did not qualify. They told the team not to rush. Safety is the most important aspect of it, but they changed an engine, a gearbox, and both quarters of the rear end of that car. I must say, Nolan has had...
All right, I'm back. God damn it, Loki. No.
We might be under yellow flag.
Probably gonna go to red.
Hey, look, they're fixing the barrier.
That was Uncle Jim Bob doing out there. Get out with there, son. I got it. See what I said to the DJ, or not DJ, Dawson. I swear.
I thought they're gonna make repairs.
Nope, he's done so.
Okay. Dang, that sucks, dude. My pick didn't wreck. My pick was Reddick this week. But for my playoffs, my fantasy pick.
That was a good pick.
I feel like if we just stay where we are, we just chill, we'll be fine.
NBC Sports coverage of NASCAR on USA is brought to you by Go Bowling. Go to gobowling.com to find a center near you. Credit One Bank, NASCAR American Express card, and by Toyota. Let's go places. Beautiful Finger Lakes district of the state of New York. It is a super place to be. This is not a great place to be if you're Ryan Blaney, right?
Let's chat with Ryan now, and got out of the car. We'll ask him what happened in a moment, but it seemed like you were talking to NASCAR officials, Ryan, because did you guys feel like they said you're done for the day? Were you feeling like you should have had time on the clock to be able to repair the car?
Give us a chance to fix it. How are they going to dictate if we're done or not? They have no idea the damage. They said because I couldn't drive it back to the pit box, we're done. But you have 4 flats, you get towed back to the pit box, you can't drive it back. So I don't know what's going on, why they won't even give us a shot to work on it, but I don't agree with it. And I don't even know what happened, honestly. I stacked up and I caught someone in the left front. It completely broke steering arm. I don't know if we can
I would be too.
But, yeah, that's the frustrating part. Just don't even give us a chance. You just end our day with not even letting us get to look at it before it's in the garage. That's just stinks.
And Steve, there have been several long conversations, first with Jonathan Hassler and NASCAR officials, then Ryan Blaney got involved as well, trying to say, hey, we feel like we should have time on the clock. What does the NASCAR rule book say about that situation?
So the basic premise of the damaged vehicle policy is if you get into an accident, you have a set amount of time, 7 minutes to repair your car. That's kind of total time on pit road. Where it gets murky and what's upset the 12 car is we have seen cars with flat tires unable to drive back to pit road, so they are then assisted to their pit box. That's the big difference. And what Blaney and his crew chief Jonathan Hassler want in this situation is they want it to be towed to their pit box to assess the damage to see if they can make repairs in 7 minutes. I think this is something that NASCAR is going to have to clear up, because when and who decides whether you go to your pit box or the garage as these playoffs continue, 1 point makes a difference. I think the damage on the 12 is day ending regardless, but you could hear it in Ryan's voice as frustrating. He feels his crew has the right to see that. Sounds like something between NASCAR and the teams that are going to want to get cleared up, because this isn't going to go away here. Just wait till Bristol next week.
The defending series champion has had, unfortunately, a run of DNFs over the last 4 races, 3 of the last 4. Here it is again. Corey LaJoie involved, Kyle Busch. We've highlighted
when you hear just Corey LaJoie involved, it's always Corey's fault.
Yeah, Corey just basically gets on the curb, runs a little high, catches the 8 in the left rear, and then it's
Corey's so buns. I'm glad he's unemployed next year.
Narrowly almost got away with it, but couldn't avoid that contact. Here we ride on board the Gainbridge car with LaJoie.
Yeah, I mean, there's zero doubt. He goes over the curb and catches the 8 in the left rear. Just an absolute racing accident. Now, Kyle Busch is not going to be happy with the 7 for sure. All these other drivers aren't either.
Kyle Busch and pissed at Corey LaJoie again?
The 7 definitely started this accident. Why Blaney is so frustrated is like, there was no big moment, right? He beat and banged on a few cars, but like right on board, look. Right, so you hit the 6, but you know, if you're behind the wheel, you're like, well, that's not going to end my day. And then the 42 hits him, but he's thinking, that's not even a wreck. Like, I just got.
I think the 6 started the damage, and then the 42 clipping it just broke it. Was that Spinhouse?
That took out one of our cameras.
Of course, he just fucking sends it in there.
And Steve, we talk about preparation. We were watching the 11 team go to work. They were able to change that left rear toe link in about 4 some odd minutes. They even had a little bit there and try and fix the right front. They're asking Denny to assess it now because they obviously have to get up to meet minimum speed. They get off the DVP, but veteran, calm, and methodical leadership by Chris Caber on the 11 team. They only lost a lap because it's a road course. We'll see if they can get back.
Yeah, they only have 5.5 minutes. You know, they don't have a whole lot of time to fix it anymore, but once he reaches minimum speed, then it's like the wreck never happened. You're free to do whatever you want. That's a lot of chaos. We're 5 laps into the race, and here we go.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. We're starting the race again.
Ross Chastain in the Busch.
Here we go, Wass.
Martin Truex Jr., Shane Van Gisbergen tucked in behind, AJ Allmendinger, Alex Bowman. Here we go again.
You got a little bit up front now.
Logano has a look on the inside of Allmendinger.
Here we go, Ross.
Chastain gets a terrific start.
And they come now out of turn number 1. Chastain.
Is that Briscoe? Or is that Barry? Oh my god.
Did you see that, Bagman? That's crazy. The field knotted up, mid-pack on back. Everybody just trying to...
Alright, so is Watkins Glen going to be entertaining today?
Doesn't matter what happens to the front. Oh, it's AJ.
Oh my god, they're going to die. We're going to die. We're going to... Oh, something's broken.
And going backwards down the back straightaway.
heard him say something is broke.
Dirt!
He's still at
Dirt!
pace, but losing lots of track position.
Sandstorm!
As the leaders work their way through the bus stop. Everybody through smoothly this time. There's some nudge. Harrison
Finally, we got
muscled
through
out
the
of way.
wreck, yeah!
Brad Keselowski, as everybody works through.
We didn't die!
You asked earlier, would this be a defining race in the playoffs? 6 laps in, I think we have the answer already. With racing still to go, Chastain leads Truex, Van Gisbergen, and Bowman, Briscoe.
Bro, this playoffs is leading up for a silly season. Fucking playoff.
Here between the 10 of Noah Gragson, and I believe that's the 43 of Jones.
Gragson qualified really well in the top 10 in his first Cup Series race here at the Glen.
Door Haas Resurgence.
And Van Gisbergen, there they are there. Alex Bowman, it's the dinger, AJ Allmendinger, who's the one who's been shuffled out of this top 6.
William Byron.
Looking further back in the pack.
William Byron
on the move as everybody's just trying to catch their breath, and hopefully cooler heads will prevail. Quite a rambunctious set of opening laps here at Watkins Glen. Everybody now working their way through the S's. Here you've got Noah Gragson in that number 10 car as everybody makes their way to the backstretch.
And does Gragson have a problem? It looked like maybe the right rear was flat, or one of the rear tires. Car kind of looked like it was a little off balance going through the S's. Meanwhile, back up front, Ross Chastain still leads over this battle for second. Martin Truex Jr. in the 19. Shane Van Gisbergen in the 16 runs third. Kim, his teammates on pit road.
Yeah, that would be AJ Allmendinger. You heard the radio. He said something broke. He's not sure what it is. He said something on the right side of the car. At first he said the axle, because when he throttles up, the back end wants to just absolutely shoot out. Then he said maybe it's just the tire down. Then he confirmed, I do think something is broke. So the team trying to diagnose it right now.
Let's see exactly what happened to the 13. It was in the S's, I believe. Here he is exiting one.
They're rolling.
And watch behind too. Watch the 22 of Joey Logano. They're coming towards you. Logano goes to the inside and tags Allmendinger.
Yeah, I think whatever happened before the 22 caught him, because I see a little bit of movement in the back of the car. Really an absolute spectacular drive by all of these vehicles. The fastest, narrowest part of Watkins Glen. Let's listen. I mean, it's chaos inside the car, but where the 12 hit him, I can't believe that would break it, but definitely something to miss on the 13. A little cleanup from the original.
They're falling crappy-ass parts.
Namely, the playoff car of Denny Hamlin has got off the damaged vehicle policy. He made minimum speed, so we'll have to just update the 11th day as we continue.
No bowling car was one we thought would feature today in the hands of AJ Allmendinger. Maybe something broke.
Thank you, Kevin.
Before Logano
Now back to
hit
the
him,
booth.
as we mentioned earlier. So Chastain has opened up almost a second lead.
Let's go, Raw. Sunday drive, baby. Here we go.
Who's come into the discussion behind Bowman? Chase Briscoe. Yeah, Briscoe's such a nice road racer. He knows this is his opportunity. Bowman continues that hot streak. Ross Chastain leading his first ever laps at Watkins Glen after an amazing pole run.
Oh, bye, AJ. So we've junked 2 cars in 5 laps.
They probably can make repairs and return, but that's going to be.
And there's also other like probably 10 damaged cars on the track still. What, mi amigo? Why, Chase, no personality, smelly it? Let's go, mi amigo.
Michael McDowell in the 34. They are racing for 7th, 8th, and 9th.
And they roll single
oh shit.
That battle sorts itself out. McDowell with a nice run on Chase Elliott into the first right-hander in the bus stop. Everybody orderly this time through in this battle for the 7th, 8th, and 9th spot, with McDowell bringing up the back of this 3-car battle as they work out of the carousel towards turn 6.
Has there been enough going on?
That would be hilarious.
You're watching NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, the Go Bowling at the Glen.
It was brought to you by Honda. This is a mile and a third oval, but it is not straightforward. It's 14 degrees front straight, corners, 9 degrees on the front straight, 206 laps. It's a fast track.
But most significantly, the only all-concrete track that we race on. What does that mean? The groove is narrow at both ends. You can start high early, but after a few laps, you got to dip low.
Leading the field is the official pace car of Nashville, the 2024 Honda Civic Type R. Rolling through turn 2, so much in play. Will Power trying to make the comeback. Alex Palou has controlled his championship since mid-season, trying to become the first back-to-back champ since Dario Franchitti, one of his mentors, did it in 2011 with 3 straight championships.
but Will Power has always been there, and he starts in that black and white Verizon car in the second row, and you got to look way back to find Alex Palou in 24th. Palou cannot be content. He has to move forward. One last time. It's time to decide a champion. Here we go from Nashville.
What does Will Power do here in the first corner? He looks high behind his Team Penske teammate, Joseph Newgarden. Will Power goes to the high side looking for third.
And there's 3 wide behind. Pretty sure that's Santino Ferrucci. No surprise there as Kirkwood under pressure from Newgarden on the outside of 3 and 4.
Joseph Newgarden tries to make the high line work. That's been one of the questions. The Indy Next race today was highly entertaining, and Newgarden's going to get after it. Kirkwood leads the lap, but side by side.
Oh, they almost touched.
Hanging on the outside.
These guys know the track is clean right now. They have about 10 laps to sort it out, and then the degradation of the tires. That rubber will start to build offline, and it'll get sketchy, but Newgarden making it work right now.
Hey, as long as these two are running side by side, that second lane could stay good for quite a few laps. Newgarden back in line now, going to use the toe. Kirkwood defensive, and behind them we're seeing some more side by side.
Meanwhile, Alex Palou has moved up 4 spots in 20th. Will Power has picked up a spot. He runs in third. There is a scenario where Power could finish third and win the championship.
Connor Daly there looking on the outside of the Meyer Shank machine of Felix Rosenquist, who's fallen back behind his teammate David Malukas. Look at this, right on the right rear corner of the
I'm assuming the other guy can't finish higher than him.
He used to such great effect at Milwaukee.
Better be careful, that right rear start.
A reminder that you can sign up for the NASCAR newsletter to stay up to speed on all the latest from the track. Get your chance to win 2 tickets to a of your choice. Just scan the QR code or visit NASCAR.com/race ticket promo to enter. Welcome back to the Glen, Watkins Glen here in New York. 9 laps to go in stage 1. Ross Chastain of Trackhouse continues to lead the way. That's Shane Van Gisbergen looking for a line, Baggy.
And he's been looking for that line for the last handful of laps or so. Another driver looking for a line is Austin Cindric. He is in the orange number 2. He is right behind Daniel Suarez in the 99. He's got Chase Elliott behind him. A good start to the day so far for Austin Cindric, who right now is 7th.
2 cars that have been pretty sneaky good this weekend. Daniel Suarez in that 99 and Austin Cindric in the 2. Chase Elliott, of course, a former winner here at Watkins Glen. They all 3 chase each other through the bus stop and into turn 5. This is a race for 6th, 7th, and 8th with Suarez leading the way in this 3-car battle.
See Austin Cindric in that orange car, kind of holding him up just a little bit. Chase Elliott putting a lot of pressure on him, and then that allows the guys behind him to catch Chase. So Chase needs to get this pass made. If not, they're going to be taking the fight to him.
Keep an eye on that 34 Ford from Front Row Motorsports and Michael McDowell, who started his early career road racing. This is very natural to him, and he told us yesterday he has a fast car and is ready to go. We ride aboard the Xfinity Mobile of Tyler Reddick.
Hi, Tyler.
Watching Tyler Reddick leading turn number 1, the downhill run into turn 2. That's the right-hander. That's the foot of the S's. And now that 80-foot climb to turn 3. So far, so good for Tyler Reddick today. Smooth laps and a very smooth racing line as he now exits turn 4 and works his way up the back straightaway.
And he rides in the 10th spot, looking out the front windshield at Michael McDowell. Chase Elliott in front of him, and Austin Cindric there, that battle that we just followed. All these cars nose to tail from about 6th on back as they all work through the bus stop smoothly, heavy over that curbing there at the exit, and then Reddick brings the car smoothly around this long right-hander that's the carousel. Important to get the power down as fast as you can off this portion of the racetrack, Jeff.
Good battle for second place. Martin Truex Jr. trying to defend against Shane Van Gisbergen. SVG, we know how good of a road racer he is. Truex, after last week's Atlanta race, he needs a great race here today.
I love this view of SVG. He makes it look easy, so calm. You see the very calm upshifts down the front stretch, an adjustment to the brake bias, a couple downshifts into turn 1.
Still continuing on board with SVG. This again, the battle for second. That car in front of him is Martin Truex Jr. They are 1.2 seconds behind Ross Chastain. Up through the S's they go. Shane now working towards the right-hander.
Let's go, Ross.
He'll pop the steering wheel to the right, and now upshift.
Keep her going,
Chastain. He got a nice run out of the exit of the S's field to the right side for a
Shane Van
essentially for that second spot. Not going to happen this time through the bus stop. Truex too strong at this portion of the racetrack, but SVG peppering that back bumper of Truex. Gets him a little bit sideways there through the carousel, but MTJ too strong. He holds off SVG out of turn 5.
Yeah, Truex did a nice job of having momentum off of that corner, but we now know the strengths of SVG in that 16 car. It's up the S's, so what he's got to do is leave turn 1 closer to 19. Oh, we're trying to make an aggressive move here. This is tight in 7. It's very difficult right-hander to make a pass.
If you know Shane Van Gisbergen, you know that he's always looking for that alternative line, and he sets up his moves. He telegraphs his moves.
It's just Shane.
A couple of corners before, and that was smooth and slick executed.
All right, Ross, you got your future teammate behind you. You got a nice little lead. Keep her going.
Away after that brief contact with Alex Bowman. They are racing for a spot inside of the top 10. They come to the top of the S's, and Bowman's got company still at the back door.
Couple here as they put new tires on. This hasn't happened in IndyCar for a long time, a loose seatbelt.
Yeah, I think Kev's right. AJ Allmendinger in the 500 with a Penske machine. I've had it happen in qualifying. I've had it happen in practice, never in a race condition, but that is not the kind of thing you can mess around with. This is not a case of the driver just, manning up and dealing with it. Massive safety implication. You have to have that sorted. And as you said, Townsend, it's so difficult to navigate that space right now with tight belts, the driver in.
Well, normally the protocol is you've got your sub belts, then the lap belt goes on, then you clip in the shoulder belt. So to try to do it after the fact without restarting the full sequence is really hard, especially with the steering wheel in there. Normally that's removed so that the crew member has a lot more elbow flex available. And now Will Power paying the price. This is a disaster.
Already 2 laps down. It's going to be at least one more, 3 as the leader crosses the line.
That's great.
And immediately, the team for Alex Palou, Chip Ganassi Racing, will be letting Palou know, hey, there's a trouble with the 12. Don't push too hard. We're in really good shape. They'll be giving their driver the information. Power, good to go, fresh tires, but brutal.
Let's listen.
I have to pit. My belt has come off.
It's a terrible feeling from inside the race car. You saw at the start of that clip.
Seat belt is unclipped. Copy. Which one? The left.
I'd be shitting bricks.
Yeah, you saw his hand was off the wheel. He was trying to maybe see if he could do it on his own, but that's impossible at speed.
Yeah, and the lap is critical. That's like the keystone in the arch. You have to have the lap secure, especially here.
Heartbreak for Will Power, 5 laps down. Now, second in the championship is in play, and who's going to win the season finale in Nashville?
Oh, Curta has a chance to hi, Michael McDowell.
McDuss?
That puts us to 9th. Heck yeah. Go away, Kyle Larson.
I thought Corey LaJoy was about to dump 54 right there.
I thought something was about to happen to those 3. Would have been like, oh, I'm not surprised.
Pat Gibbs really just got passed by stacking burgers. Are we really going to talk? Are we talking about this dude being like the next thing since sliced bread? He just got passed by a McDonald's worker. Ugh. Okay.
Dude, what a gap.
Bye, Ross.
What a gap.
Oh, Briscoe, hang on to it. Hang on to that thing.
3-second gap by Chastain. What a gap.
Since he's not here. Kyle Larson. Oh, SVG.
Bye, Shane.
I see that green flag stop starting. Or they're probably short pitting the stage so they can stay out.
In stage 1, and there are plenty of takers for a trip to the pits.
Fuck it, Ross, go win this shit. Go win the stage.
And Joey Logano's in as well, Marty.
It's a very busy pit road. Paul Wolf told Joey Logano this morning, unless we can win a stage, we're going to flip it in stage 1. That's what they're doing right here. You see Shane Van Gisbergen also on pit road, Parker.
Right, and Shane Van Gisbergen's team had a lot of discussion over the last 3 laps about the fall-off, what he was feeling in the car, if they should go through this stage, but eventually they decided the fall-off was too big in these tires, and he came down to flip the stage. I believe that puts them the best strategy, as it's a very busy pit road right now.
It looks like a caution flag on pit road. So many cars. Remember, the leader closes pit road with 2 to go. That is why all of these cars pitted. We do see some playoff cars. Ty Gibbs. We see William Byron. We see Christopher Bell. We see Brad Keselowski. They were running so far back that they don't
Larson stayed out too, it looks
would
like.
have achieved stage points, which is the goal. I assume Chastain here,
Hi, Ross.
because he is the leader, he could pit on this lap. Hard right-hand turn for the 1 car onto pit road as predicted.
Let's go. Come on, one team.
Will then stay on the racetrack to score those points. There is Truex. Now Truex's job is to hold off Bowman. And behind him, Briscoe, Suarez, that orange car, Cindric, Chase Elliott.
I guess
Reddick,
winning the stage really doesn't mean anything for Ross.
Playoff drivers, playoff racing in a road course. This is what has to happen. Kim?
And Steve called it perfectly, and this has been the strategy from the beginning. I talked to crew chief Phil Sermon this morning. This was their intention, especially if Ross was able to lead the entirety of the first stage. Right now, Ross just complaining a little tighter in turn 1, but overall all right on the balance of that race car. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, so no fuel for Ross Chastain.
Look at this good racing going on here between
Good
Daniel
question.
Suarez and Chase Briscoe.
I'm going to be a minute.
Stage points on offer here. You got to get them all you can. Chase Briscoe gets nudged by Suarez. I don't think he liked the way he was racing.
Mi amigo, I do not want to be fighting with DJ. Don't wreck Briscoe, please.
Briscoe goes to 3rd in the 14. Suarez back to 4th in the 99. They chase Alex Bowman, who's ahead of them in that 48 car. Truex still the leader out of 5.
Yep.
Chase Elliott still applying pressure. Dawson Cindric. Austin's doing a nice job holding him back there. 2 to go. Truex has his hands full.
Mid-rig.
Good little road racer. He's trying to get this stage win.
Yeah, Chicago Street Course.
Points. These are real points in your bank. 1 lap away.
Dude, Bowman wrecks Martin Truex for the stage would be kind of funny.
Toyota on board of Martin Truex Jr. to Alex Bowman. Coming into the playoffs, Bowman was surrounded by a dark cloud. It was hovering above him. People were saying he's going to lose his job at Hendrick Motorsports. Well, guess what? Since we started the playoffs, he's had some pretty amazing runs, and especially last weekend. And then he's topped it up and backed it up yesterday with a good qualifying, and here he is in it again today.
Leaders work up the back straightaway. Bowman's got a pretty good run on Truex as they work into the bus stop for the final time in stage.
Go get him, Bowman.
He gets through here cleanly. He may
Go
have
get
a
his
shot at
ass.
him, but Truex gets through there pretty well. Leaves the entry.
Dude, if Bowman and Martin Truex wreck themselves and fucking Briscoe wins the stage, that's gonna be funny as shit.
Yeah, look at the guys that get points. So many drivers that so big.
Oh god.
Briscoe, Suarez, Cindric, all getting
the
solid
final
points.
win, the final 2 wins for Briscoe. That'd be awesome.
Brad Keselowski speeding on pit road. He'll
Oh,
have to
no!
Oh, Brad!
Can Truex pull it off? He looks smooth. 48-14 in tow.
Truex
gonna win
Jr. stage
This
winner.
is hugely valuable for Martin Truex Jr.
Hey, those are good stage points for me, amigo. P4, I'll take that for him.
So important for him.
Let's go, Daniel Suarez. And here I was saying,
Time of yellow. When the 10th
damn.
place car crosses the start-finish, the track goes yellow. Highest scored lap down car gets the free pass. We'll confirm it, but it should be the 11 of Hamlin.
And by the way, that had been going on for numerous laps. That was some great racing, even though it was a lap down. Chaos on the opening lap affected multiple playoff drivers. It was wild here at Watkins Glen, but that was to be expected.
Take a look here at the Firestone telemetry as we see Herta chasing down Rosenquist. He is currently 3 points behind Power for second in the championship as they run. What a result it would be for this team and this driver if they could elevate themselves up to best of the rest. It's been a much more consistent season for Herta. He got that win in Toronto, more podiums than he's had in his career. But it's just been collecting those top 5s and top 10s when they don't have the pace. And today, it seems like he's got some pace.
Dave, this guy lives here in the Nashville area. He's never won on an oval. Last night in practice, there was nobody faster, nobody more aggressive. This could be his day.
T-Bell, he felt like this was where this 26 car needed to be and could be, because he was set up very similar to pole sitter and teammate Kyle Kirkwood. He really doesn't know what happened in qualifying to end up 11th on the grid, but since then he's been going forward the direction he believed he would go. Right now just 1.6 seconds behind the leader.
And this guy, California native, kind of considers Long Beach a bit of a home race, Laguna Seca as well. He's won both of those races. Now he's a Nashville resident. This is sort of his third home race. What a way to finish off the season, but complete the trifecta and get the win at home. Also home for this guy here, Estemo on board, Joseph Newgarden. He's born and raised in the Nashville area. Him and wife Ashley live here. And he would love nothing more than a home win.
And nobody's been better on ovals for the last several seasons. Joseph Newgarden has won 10 of the last 17 oval races. He thinks it's been a miserable season, and I get that because they expect to compete for championships, but he's still been dominant at times. It's always been feast or famine this year with Newgarden. Oh, by the way, he won the Indianapolis 500 for the second straight year in amazing fashion.
So top 5 cars are all on the harder black tire right now. Pato O'Ward on the reds. Let's just ride and see how difficult it is at this point of the stint, thanks to Arrow.
About what you'd want balance-wise for prime. It'll probably be a bit looser on prime, so I think leave it.
Critical piece of information at this point in the stint. They've got to run the softer red tires twice, every car in the field
NBC
during
Sports
the race. So they're trying to...
USA is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? And by Go Bowling. Go to gobowling.com to find a center near you. Look how spectacular it is here. Surrounding Watkins Glen, which is up on the hill. We look down over the Finger Lakes. This legendary track that featured Formula 1 for 20 straight years, was born on the back of sports car. Time, the NASCAR Cup Series races here, and has turned on something pretty special already, right from the very opening lap.
And this is what makes it special. I know the racing is captivating and the stars behind the wheel show up and do their job, but the fans, I mean, the whole atmosphere of this place for this weekend is really unmatched, right? The camping feel and just the excitement of the fans. It's a very educated fan base, and they know how to have a good time.
So, Martin Truex Jr. comes into this race 19 points on the wrong side of the cut line and has earned maximum stage 1 points. That's exactly what the 19 team from Joe Gibbs Racing needed. That's going to help his overall picture for now. He's trying to break a run of bad luck, Stevie. He's trying to turn it
Suarez,
around.
7 points. Actually, yeah, he finished 4th.
Bad luck, but looking at the year that the 19 had, I kind of have to throw that out the window because they have, I think, performed better than the numbers you see. Last week was the perfect example. Caught up in somebody else's mess, had nothing to do with it. Now, the unfortunate part for all these playoff drivers is mission accomplished. But now you're going to pay the penalty, which is they're going to come to pit road, and all of those cars that came under green are going to stay out. Now, we don't know how much slower their tires will be with a couple laps on them, but what we do know is all these playoff cars will come to the service of their team, Marty.
And Steve, no better place for the 19 team to turn around their bad luck that Diff has been talking about than one of his favorite tracks, Watkins Glen. Truex does get the stage win and those 10 valuable stage points. He said he lost rear lateral grip the longer they ran. James Small going to make an air pressure adjustment to fix that, Parker.
And it's a great start for Daniel Suarez in these 2024 playoffs as well. The second Atlanta and a 4th in stage 1 here. He also remarked that he was losing rear grip and actually locking the rear tires under braking, which means they're coming to a stop. That becomes very difficult. He'll get 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, Kip.
Great points grab for Alex Bowman during stage 1. He said he was pretty tight, couldn't get in the corners as deep as he wanted, especially in turn 1 and the end of the course. Had to back up the corner, so crew chief Blake Harris giving him adjustment for better turn this stage.
Lots of positivity surrounding the Bowman campaign in these 2024 playoffs. Good run off pit lane as well for Larson and Suarez. If you've been up here and you've been here, Seneca Lodge, you'll know what it's all about. If you haven't, you've got to go there. This is a motor racing museum with a little refreshments on the side. It's legendary and it's a must visit.
Wait. There, now my shelves don't look as sad.
The NASCAR Cup Series playoffs are in full swing. This is the second race in the opening stage, the round of 16, and this is the Go Bowling at the Glen. We're at Watkins Glen. Welcome back, Lee Diffie, along with Steve Letarte. We're going radio style. We got Mike Bagley out there, Dylan Welsh, Jeff Burton right there in turn 6. And a little earlier, Kim Kuhn caught up with one of the favorites for this race, AJ Allmendinger.
Unfortunately, AJ Allmendinger out of the race. You told me it's a bigger issue than you originally thought. What exactly is going on with the race car?
The higher up pay grade, or maybe they know more than I do, but it just felt like it just snapped the axle. It sounds like it pulled the axle out of the transaxle, but there's more that went off in there, so it was violent. I'm just happy that I didn't catch a race car in front of everybody there. That was going to be big, but disappointing. I mean, hard to tell, but I thought the initial first lap there, I was like, oh yeah, this fired off really good. So Go Bowling Chevy, we'll never know. It was a good weekend, really, disappointed just because Go Bowling have putting their belief in me and putting their product on a race car. I felt like we're at least going to have a shot to run up front and maybe win this thing.
Yeah, a shot to run up front.
Just one of those years.
Unfortunately for the Dinger, and he joins Ryan Blaney and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Oh, Ricky's out too?
This
I know Ricky was also out. Good.
Work continues on the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
Oh,
Now that
Denny
they've got the
back
free
on
pass,
the road.
Chris Gabehart and team are just going to have to really focus on salvaging the day. We came into this talking about tires and runoff and points and all of these things. The most important part as a crew chief is to realize when your goal has changed. And for the 11 of Denny Hamlin, it has completely changed. Every caution they have, take the time to continue to make the car faster. See if other teams have problems. Don't make any issues bigger by losing another lap.
That car's fine.
There's just nothing you can do currently below the cut line. 6 points below the cut line where the 11 is running.
Yeah, besides the right. Yeah, look at
this. This is a team that the majority of the garage and the media.
I played Supermarket Simulator for 7 hours already.
And now
I've almost clocked the whole shift in.
Good at Bristol, but
I
hate to think that.
Hi Ross, welcome back to the front.
Now it's in survival mode. Let's take a look at the Xfinity.
Oh hey, what up, Shane?
And it belongs, no surprise, to the man who's dominated the opening stage, led 18 laps. Car number 1, the Busch Light Chevy of Ross Chastain. He loves coming up here. He quite often comes
Oh
up
God, Ross and McDuss. We're dying.
Really enjoys it.
We're dying.
Loves this.
Zane Smith.
Can he love it all the way to a victory? We will see. He's got a road race specialist on his outside in Michael McDowell. He's got Shane Van Gisbergen on his inside. And the man who won the first playoff race in Atlanta last weekend, Joey Logano. Let's get ready to start stage 2. Do we get into more of a rhythm here? Is it going to be more predictable or more chaos to come? Here we go. Van Gisbergen is pushing. Chastain hard on the inside. SVG thinks about diving on the inside and then thinks again.
Yes, he does. Never mind.
McDowell goes out wide. Check out this bad man. Here they come.
McDowell's going to swing it all the way wide. He's going to take a run for the lead, but he can't get it done. Chastain gets the burst into the clean air.
Was that
McDowell right behind him into third.
I have no idea. I couldn't tell. There was like glare off the.
That was right.
Joey Logano breathing down his tailpipe to the 22.
Tyler Reddick was that car that spun and entry to turn number 1. You see him off the pace and losing ground as he tries to gather it in up the S's. Meanwhile, leaders working through the bus stop. Chastain feeling the pressure.
Sandstorm.
Second, a little further back in the top 10. Everybody dipping the tires off the exit curving through the bus stop. Chris Buescher to the inside of Noah Gragson. They race for the 10th and 11th spot through the carousel out of 5.
Great side-by-side battle here as they drive into turn 6. You feel like the intensity's picked up? That's because it has. A lot of drivers in the front of this pack with nothing to lose.
We're off the pace, too.
Still side-by-side, 70 to Buescher on the inside. Noah on the outside. Noah gives way, but now he's under
someone locked the tires up.
And keep an eye out for that black and gold car, number 50. The legend is back. Juan Pablo Montoya is running in the top 15. This is a one-off in the Mobil 1 machine for 2311, and he's loving it.
Locking up the tires.
Juan Pablo Montoya's not been in a Cup car in 10 years.
Oh God, Briscoe, look out! You're in the Hornets' nest.
Rugby scrum mid-pack.
Juan Pablo retired in 2014. He's not been here.
Coming up the hill through the S's.
That was in the next gen.
Austin Cindric in the 2. Bubba Wallace in the 23. They're all stacking it up coming out of 4.
These cars that we just saw all back outside of the top 20. We take a look now at
course,
the front
I knew
runners.
it.
Everybody single file and contained up there. Not so much through here. Alex Bowman and Chase Briscoe resume their battle. Bubba Wallace slides
Jeez, you can't cut the corner, brother.
And now Chase Elliott looks to the inside of Daniel Hemrick.
I was talking about Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott cut the corner.
Just outside the top 20. Elliott goes by for 21st in the 9.
Well, this is the negatives to getting points in stage 1. Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, it is a negative. We are absolutely in the back.
Larson, can you hold it straight there, guy?
These guys are behind him, so they got a lot of work to do to get back to the front.
You talk about the chaos of getting points.
Oh no!
Middle of the pack on the restart. 99 of Suarez, about the 15th car on the left-hand side as they go down into the first corner. You see pretty calm at the front, 3 wide further back.
Larson's all over the bumper of Suarez.
3 wide. The 99 gets a little contact, gets loose contacts. The 45 and spins it around. I think it was the 2, the orange car, top center of the screen. If you can make it out, I mean. How do you blame
oh no, it was the 2. It was Midrick. It was Midrick. He got into our right rear.
It's the game of contact telephone. Here you go. Push.
Watch the orange car on the right. And bop. Thanks, Austin Midrick. And then Larson kind of gave us that extra little bump. So thank the 5 and the 2. Suarez got battered and abused.
For about 6 or 7 of the 16 playoff drivers. Meanwhile, Chastain back out in front. Van Gisbergen ahead of McDowell. And look at Zane Smith nicely in the mix. He was fortunate to avoid contact in the 71 Spire machine on lap 1. That chaos on the inner loop, but he is running well. Parker, tell us more about Kyle Larson.
Well, Steve pointed out the risk of taking points there is that you end up further back in the pack. Cliff Daniels came on the radio after they finished 8th in stage 1 and said, Kyle, we had to take these 2 points. It was worth it, but we're just going to make our way through. Well, he was also involved in that incident with the 45 and the 99. He's now back in 27th place, having to work his way forward, and that is just the risk. You want the points, it's going to put you further back in the pack, and he lost around 5 or 6 positions down in turn 1 in that melee.
Ross Chastain continues to pace the field. He has legged it out over Shane
Keep
Van
her going,
Gisbergen
Ross.
in the second spot, that white 16 car
third on back. It's a bit of a hornet's nest. Michael McDowell leads this group. Here's Carson Osavar, the 77, looking inside briefly on William Byron as they race through the carousel.
All 3 Spire cars are in the top 10. We would have talked about that.
As happened in the first run, these tires.
Why is Corey running 6th? Why is Corey LaJoie in 6th place?
About the loss of rear grip. That makes it very difficult to try to overtake or to try to defend. See Truex right here. Really can't go anywhere just yet. But I think as this run goes on, those newer tires will start to be an advantage.
Harrison Burton just in front of Truex has a little bit older tire. This is a very important run for Harrison because just like in stage 1, people will start to pit. The 21's in position to score some stage points if he can just hold the 19 and other playoff drivers off.
Chastain continues to lead, but that margin over Shane Van Gisbergen has narrowed. It's now down less than a second. As we're racing deeper.
You're not in a Trackhouse car yet. You're calling right now. Go away.
Part of the state of New York. Wineries, lakes, and a lot of motor racing.
Here comes
the van, man.
The van.
All right, Shane. Let's just stay nose to tail and pull away from the field. I know. He just needs to stay behind us, and we need to pull away from the field, and then he can pass us once we get like a 5-second gap.
Y'all got a good gap on McDowell.
Fuck yeah, dude. Shane and Ross are moving.
Bye.
Bye.
They were 33rd. Yay.
Listen, I just want a good day for Ross.
I didn't want to eat one today.
Because, like, yeah, we're out of the playoffs, but we could still finish, our move-up positions in the point standings. Well, at least up to 17th, because I don't think we can go up into the top 16 since we're not a playoff car.
Yeah, playoff points. What is this camera? Hello? Hello, camera?
Camera? Go bowling?
At the Glen. Look at that gap.
Yep, all I want from Ross in the playoffs is help Suarez have good runs and maybe win one of these playoff races just to say fuck you guys. Kind of like how he did at Phoenix last year. He was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go win Phoenix. Fuck you guys. Whoa, a little slidey. I feel like we're still pulling.
Hi,
like I feel like that gap has gotten bigger off of McDuss.
Look now. Osavar is moving.
I mean, outside of Corey LaJoie, Zane Smith and Hocevar usually run pretty consistently inside the top 20.
This week on DraftKings Sportsbook, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $250 in bonus bets instantly to use on any sport you wish, whether it's this race or tonight's Sunday night football game. Download the app and use the promo code SPEED.
Yeah, like
when you sign up, the important
them locking up Hocevar was honestly like a really good move for Spire.
He continues to be the favorite as he runs in second right behind Chastain. Chastain getting that respect 5-1 now. With as dominant as a car as it looks, McDowell as well. A lot of races still to go, though.
Maybe some good numbers there on young Ty Gibbs at plus 1,300. The WeatherTech on board for Shane Van Gisbergen. He is all over Ross Chastain. And Dylan. There's still 8.5 laps to go in the second stage.
And this gap between SVG, who we ride on board with, and Ross Chastain has slowly evaporated lap over lap. And these two, as the race leaders,
that Hornstead was below power now.
Michael
So
McDowell has got everybody jammed up behind him. But a great race up front as they exit the bus stop. Top two, nose to tail, as SVG peeks to the right side. Chastain able to guide his car back down to the curving and pull away out of 5.
I certainly feel that SVG and his team have made their car better.
we're gone.
Drove away from the first
seconds.
stage, but as Dylan just said, it looks to me SVG has a little bit better car, but getting around this one of Chastain is going to be difficult, Parker.
Right, he's also been talking about trying to save those rear tires as they go through this run, but it's interesting watching these two battled out the front of the field. Shane told
Ross,
me yesterday
the field did, like, the whole roster said Ross is like the hardest person to pass, so.
And all the preparation he had to do, but one of the interesting things was, who did he work with on that preparation? Ross Chastain. He said he and Ross worked together and actually found some things they felt like could make them better above the field, and now they find themselves battling out. Let's see who took the best notes.
Watching the battle for the lead from Shane Van Gisbergen's on board on the top box. The bottom box is the battle for third. A couple of boards there. The 34 of McDowell. We've also got the 22 of Logano with Zane Smith of Spire Motorsports looking on.
McDowell with the fans on the bottom screen. That race for third. Joey Logano had a look to his right on the entry to the bus stop. McDowell faded over just enough that Logano had to roll out of the throttle and try to reload.
5.5 fucking seconds ahead. Holy shit, we're gone. We're gone.
Zane Smith right
we're in another fucking zip code.
In the 5th spot.
Yeah, Logano misses marks just a little bit, but I got to tell you, I'm so impressed with this 22 of Joey Logano. When the playoffs started, they came to play. You know, everybody talks about the pressure of the playoffs and all that, and I think Joey absolutely loves it. He's comfortable in it, and the results are showing.
He was confident from the minute he sat down with his diff, right? He walked in, he had this air of confidence. I asked him point blank, hey, do you and Paul talk about the playoffs? And he looked at us and goes, you know, I don't think anything has to be said. Our whole team, top to bottom, is experienced. They know what's on the line, and they proved it with a win last week and another fast car this week.
How about that?
Go ahead, Baggy.
Right now, Logano's just waiting for McDowell to make a slip. I mean, he's been poised and in position. The problem is McDowell's so solid. That one little slip from McDowell could allow Logano to have a lead, and he's just about had one right there.
And Joey is way better out of the S's, but McDowell just able to play defense enough that Logano can't do anything with him through this technical part of the race.
It's like you got all this, you got this hard battle race like back here. Then you just look at SVG cam and it's just. Hi Ross, how's it going? Nice Sunday drive.
Joey Logano intentionally losing the bottom of the racetrack in that carousel, trying to get a better exit. But when he does that, he opens the door for Zane Smith behind him, gives Zane Smith a little bit of clean air. He's going to have to tighten that up a little bit. It was a good thing to try, but I think if he keeps doing it.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody like fucking bouncing.
How about the fact that all 3 Spire Motorsports Chevys are in the top 10? Yes, there's a breakaway group on different strategy, but let's give the team headed there by Zane Smith some credit in the 71. Marty, what have you got on Truex?
Hey, Diff, quickly approaching another divergent point with strategy when everybody flipped stage 1. They are all the cars out in front of
Chase Briscoe.
Jr., who did not flip stage 1. So see, the basic
Chase Briscoe
was to see the progress those that did not flip the stage have made, and Truex has made absolutely zero progress. Right there, falling back to 18th, now fighting for 17th there with Chase Briscoe, but the guys who did run the entire stage, Steve, haven't gone anywhere once they came back out on the track. So as a crew chief, how would you form that next decision coming up in 3 laps?
Well, Truex might not have gone anywhere in running order, but he went somewhere in the points order. Scored a lot of points. It's the same thing, rinse and repeat. Gibbs, Byron, Bell, Burton, Briscoe, Truex, all should stay on the racetrack, score those stage points.
Credit, 33rd. Thank you for the drink.
Austin Midrick moment.
His front wing a little earlier in the corner, preventing Colton from getting those straightaway runs.
We'll keep an eye on this battle as Herta tries to keep within pace and challenge Joseph Newgarden. Another contender early in this race. Georgia, unfortunately, is out.
Right about that. Felix Rosenquist has been released from the IndyCar medical unit. First and foremost, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, tire just blew up. So I felt fine, and then all of a sudden it just started feeling weird. And I told the team on the radio coming in, and literally as I said that, it just deflated, and yeah, I was just a passenger into the wall. So unfortunate, but like another thing we couldn't really, predict or help. It was just there. We're just a passenger. So yeah, super good race until then. Running third. Now David is third, so hopefully he can pick up where we left.
We're gonna play a replay for you. Can you walk us through it?
Sorry?
We're gonna play a replay for you. Can you walk us through it?
Yeah. So yeah, right here I feel the car is weird on the front. I'm calling in the team that I'm coming in, and right there it just stops.
Yep, tire gone.
Basically the tire is deflated. It went off the wheel essentially. So yeah, it sucks when it happens here, especially at those speeds. Luckily it wasn't a very big hit.
It stops.
The walls keeps us safe in the car as well. But I was bummed for the team. I think they did and the whole season really it's just kind of been a summer of our year, I say. A lot
It was only 2 cars,
performances with little payouts, so we'll come back stronger next year.
Thank you, Phyllis. Back stronger next year.
Yeah, the pace has been there. Now looking for results next season. It's
Hi, Larson. Now everyone's coming down pit road. I'm gonna bet you were probably one of those two.
Me amigo, more than likely.
No, we're not. We gained a bunch of spots. We stayed out. How do we get close to them? Gain spots not first. We stayed out. Oh, I'm getting tire on pit road. Oh! Look out, guys! Can't grab that tire. It's stuck there.
That looked like the 5 fire suits.
Fives, I called it. If it was the 5 tire, I called it.
In the second stage, Ross Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen, and then it's daylight to Michael McDowell, who leads this train to pit. Logano has stayed out.
See all of the cars in the back pitting now before the end of the stage. Cars on the right, mostly playoff cars, staying out for points, Parker.
As you see Michael McDowell lead a lot of cars here on the pit road, once again flipping the stage. That's what got him into the top 3 position.
Maybe it's not.
Track position before
Who's
you
tire?
see Ford Goodyear tires and Sunoco Fuel with all these cars come down pit road to flip the stage, Marty.
Martin Truex Jr. said I could go absolutely nowhere. Said he lost rear grip the longer they ran. Also lost his corner entry advantage he had earlier in turns 1 and turn 7. And man, this is a busy pit road.
Spun around, 99
no!
Spun around in turn 6. He's
in the beach. He's beached.
Get out. NASCAR's going to have to throw the caution here.
This has been
That's the
such
stage.
a crazy day for
Of
playoff
course, we
drivers.
come down
And this
pit
is day
road,
over for
and we're
Chastain
stuck
and
a lap out.
SVG.
He's beached. God damn it, Suarez. What the fuck happened?
It's a drag race. The 1 and the 16, they will not make it. Pit road is closed. So much frustration in the camp of the 1 and the 16. That was the one thing that could
That cucks
not
us.
happen on their
That
strategy.
cucks us too.
This
Oh
yellow
no.
will sink them, his own teammate. Playoff car, 99 in the sand.
By the way, that errant wheel on pit road that Stevie circled before, that belonged to Brad Keselowski's 6 from RF.
Brad.
It was Brad's tire?
It was Brad's
The thing
tire.
it did, Steve, is that all those guys behind him, here he is, Suarez he
lost it by himself.
Had problems getting into 6, but
Suarez,
did is that
doing?
the guys behind Chastain, Van Gisbergen, they were expecting him to pit also. So Gibbs, Byron, Burton, Briscoe, Bowman, all those guys just lost 2 and maybe 3 points if Logano would have been able to pit also.
I was going to wait to see what Logano did. I think he might stay out to win the stage, but he also knows that Chastain and SVG were going to pit. So Paul Wolf might have been just trying to buy another lap on the tires. We'll never know at this point.
Gisbergen, they were expecting him to pit also. So Gibbs, Byron.
Only regardless, the official goes and gets it, but the 6 car had speeding on the first stop, a penalty on the second. It's been a rough day on pit
Christian
road.
Lundgaard, who's had 3 very...
So you've got Ryan Blaney, playoff driver, the defending series champion, out. Daniel Suarez causes this caution before the end of the stage 2 caution. Tyler Reddick got turned around and has not been happy with his car. Multiple penalties to Brad Keselowski. Larson narrowly avoided that incident on lap 1.
Come on.
An expensive day for numerous playoff drivers.
And we're not halfway.
It's the sand. It's all the sand.
The stages kind of amplify the start of this race. But once we get through the end of this stage, which closes in a couple laps, you know, there's still 50 laps of racing to go. So a whole nother pit stop.
It's probably sand plus like smoke from fucking burning the tire trying to get out of there.
His pit stall.
And he missed his box. Good job, mi amigo. God damn it.
One Trackhouse car leading and one Trackhouse car causes the caution. So let's take you back and remind you what we were just talking about. Opening lap, multi-car incident. Kyle Busch goes
We didn't even make it a
gets
lap.
Christopher Bell. Zane Smith misses it. Stenhouse doesn't, nor does Hamlin.
End of the day for Ryan Blaney. Hamlin was able to kind of nurse it around, make repairs. He's still on the racetrack. Bell spun as well, on board with Stenhouse. He's out of the race after this damage.
Oh.
Ricky, the brakes are on the left, buddy.
Hit the brake. Hit the brake, Buford. Oh, camera.
Ricky Brakehouse.
This is a close-up look at the damage of Denny Hamlin's car, and this was the moment that Ryan Blaney was informed that he was done for the day. Martin Truex Jr. wins the opening stage. This is what happened between Suarez and Reddick, but it was a multi-car incident as well that caused that the net result.
Yeah, no, we got the worst of it.
Yeah, that was all Cindric being a fucking cuck.
That'll give up the track position to 6 once again. Fortunately, nobody hit the tire. Nice job by Justin Haley right there to avoid it.
That would have been awkward.
And just like that, we're gonna finish this stage under yellow, and that timing of that
And
caution
that's gonna
just
be...
really disrupts what's happening.
Oh yeah, they
not
stayed
for
out.
everybody, but some key personnel. Chastain and SVG had the best cars, and I like the strategy they were on. They were coming to pit road that lap, and that yellow kind of shut that opportunity. Parker, what are you hearing from SVG's camp?
Right, Steven. On the
He'll
radio,
probably
there
stay
was
out, win the
horrible
stage, and then go
sign when
in.
that caution came out. They were so close to getting to pit road, but this now puts them.
That's
in
what
a
I would do.
conundrum
I'd
because, as
just
Marty
fucking
noted,
wouldn't take the stage
cars that
win.
went to the back did
Not that it really
go
matters
Take a
for a
listen.
non-playoff driver, but you know, cool.
People will stay out. You pitted at the stage 1, and they could not move. So if we pit right now, you're going to come out about 28 and have to fight
He's
your
trying
way
to
through
get
the whole
multi-wins before he even starts to pull time rides go.
Take what we can.
I'm down for it.
And run,
He's gonna be driving, dude. Him in the 88 is gonna be so weird. It's gonna be weird for me seeing somebody not Dale Earnhardt Jr. driving an 88 car.
Hold out on those old tires and just see how far and what you can hold on
Yeah.
to in stage 3, Marty.
Parker kind of banking on the fact that the one in the
Because like I cheered for the 88 for years, so and now I get to cheer for it again. So I'm kind of excited for that, to be honest.
The playoff point. He said, "Now we didn't get the playoff point, and we're
Had my time with cheering for the 8 car, and then Kyle Busch kind of made that tainted. So
Oh, tell me when the yellow's going to come out, Diff, and I'll tell you when you're supposed to come to pit road. I actually like what Travis Mack is saying. So let me try to break down some of that radio. What Travis Mack is saying is, hey, this was bad. Timing was bad. What can we do? Well, we can come and pit here, give up our track position, and put it on the shoulders of the driver to try to make it back through the field. Or the fuel tank here, we haven't talked a lot about fuel today.
Want to talk about fuel tank? Look at Logano.
But he can keep going.
Yeah, they can
Another
really run
15 laps.
40 laps,
Yeah.
right? So basically, he says, or we'll just leave you out there on old tires because your pace is unbelievable. And even if we get passed by 6 or 8 cars, that's not as bad as we would have been if we pit. And then we run, to your point, another 15 laps inside our window. We come to pit road from there. So I don't hate that call for the 16. I think he's so good in clean air. I think that's the angle I would take, Marty.
Even though pit road is closed, Steve, Billy Scott taking the opportunity to bring Tyler Reddick down pit road here. He said the car just did not feel right after that spin earlier. Was not able to really make any progress, even though he had clean racetrack in front of him. But Tyler Reddick and Billy Scott making some repairs to the 45 here.
And interesting enough, in all of this chaos, Denny Hamlin is going to sneak
We're gonna
into
let
the
down
10th
yet?
position and score a point. And, you know, a point doesn't seem like much, but we've seen ties eliminate drivers in the playoffs. This 1 point for Denny Hamlin might be the difference.
You'll take what you can get. There is the end of stage 2.
Let's go, Ross.
Slower pace under caution. Ross Chastain wins that second stage over Shane Van Gisbergen, but the complexion of their day changed quite dramatically here at the Glen.
Hey, they're both on commercial break.
You want to run the Dega Cup race while we're watching the race?
Good.
Because I ain't playing anything. I don't really feel like playing anything, so I'll run that shit. I don't give a fuck. It's Dega. It's Dega, baby.
Yeah.
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 Thank you, Rick. Yeah.
Back to Music City Grand Prix. Brought to you by Big Machine,
Oh,
the
even
Nashville
Rick.
Super Speedway. Thanks for joining us today. We've got another restart coming up in just a moment. The Rookie of the Year already decided. Linus Lundqvist running 7th in this race with the American Legion Be The One livery, and they've had a fantastic mission for the last several years. Be The One is literally saving the lives of veterans at risk of suicide. Just last month, the American Legion trained more than 5,000 people at one time, the largest single suicide prevention training session ever. The Legion has more, though. Virtual and in-person training sessions will continue throughout September's suicide prevention awareness.
How many laps you want to
Chip
do for
Ganassi
Dega?
Racing is very much involved, so
40.
join the mission to end veteran suicide. Visit BeTheOne.org. Different kind of scenario, but this made the social media rounds here in Nashville, Tennessee a few days ago. John Bon Jovi, who was on the grid at St. Petersburg, surveillance cameras, if you will, caught him
Hell yeah.
talking someone literally off the ledge that he came across on the bridge. That IndyCar was part of the backdrop.
Ironically, Bon Jovi was in the two-seater to start our season in St. Pete, and I really loved that sweet moment where he leaned in to help somebody else out. One of my favorite quotes of all time. I kept waiting for somebody to do something, and then I realized that I am somebody. And Bon Jovi took initiative in that moment, and encourage all of you to think the same when you're out there.
Let's talk about one of the other Ganassi cars. Dave.
So Herta was held up a little bit on pit lane because lap down, Alex Palou decided to pit there, which is legal.
Just delete Kamui, right?
All right, the reason we did that is because if either of those two guys stayed out there with lead lap cars, we would not get our lap back to get a wave around.
Hey, race fans, here's a reminder, when in Las Vegas, stay where the racers stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. It's your ultimate pit stop on the Las Vegas Strip. South Point, everything you want, all under the one roof. Welcome back to the Finger Lakes District of New York, Watkins Glen. Go bowling at the Glen, end of stage 2. And many are diving for pit road, and many are staying out. Parker's there.
Right, and the car that leads them down there is the 54 of Ty Gibbs. He pits from the 4th place position here in this stage.
I do not like that paint, and I love orange. But I do not like the CW NASCAR paint.
Remember, they came into this race +1 above the cut line, so those are crucial points.
I don't mind the side decal with like the CW with NASCAR, but that black decal on the hood just not look good.
The car better. They are making significant adjustments. He said, I just need
My favorite Willie B scheme, the Liberty one, with the Liberty Flames.
Stop for some changes here for William Byron.
Wow, there's some big
Yep.
changes happening underneath the back of this car. I can't really tell you what they're doing. Maybe adjusting rear sway bar, rear shock, or there's a few different things they could be adjusting there.
Need to tell you about a lot of penalties, but it's highlighted by this one here.
Wait, HendrickCars.com is hiring? Shit, I'm gonna hire.
Stevie, explain why. So we don't get called this much, but vehicle interference. So let's take a moment. There's an orange line in every pit box right here. That's a reference for Kyle Larson. They would love to see the 5 car be on the outside of that, pulling into his box. There's an orange box out here. That orange box is a reference for NASCAR's cameras. If they can see the orange box, they know the right side of the car is well over the orange line. So if we roll forward just a little bit, you're going to see Kyle Larson. I mean, he straddles the orange line, 3-4 feet of the car, and this is a major disadvantage to the 43 of Eric Jones. That's why those are there. So those aren't inbounds and out of bounds. I don't want to make it sound like you can't touch the line, and if the 43 wasn't there, he has the right to use that box. But this was 2 years ago, NASCAR put this in place. This is for protection of the crew members. We rarely see this. I have to wonder. We see drivers drive through a lot of pit boxes. And another issue of Kyle Larson, remember, the driver is on the left side away from pit wall. The opposite of every other time he comes down pit road for the year.
You have audio on my stream?
Let's listen in.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry because I'm not even, it's hard to see that orange box when it's in your right front versus left front.
No.
Yeah,
So
I'll change the
right
screen.
front versus
I really
left
don't need it anyway.
I know
Actually, yeah,
it's
you'll
silly,
have
but
the-
it's backwards. I mean,
The cup
I'm not
race
going to
one.
ask you, Diff. I know you've probably driven on the wrong side of the road some. But if I go to a country that drives on the wrong side of the road, I have to think every left turn and right turn, which lane I'm turning into. Sure. It's the same idea. He's on the wrong
Photo
side.
finish Kim.
And I have to admit,
That's sick.
I wanted to see how obvious the call was. Big stack up right here on the choose. The 23 above wall was pulled over for some reason.
By the way, Bubba was one of many cars penalised.
Oh.
So Zane Smith had a speeding penalty,
Oh.
a tyre penalty for Brad Keselowski. We showed you that. So Bubba, along with Tyler Reddick, the Daniel Suarez, pitting too soon. So that group of drivers all penalised.
If you're keeping the cliff notes, you're
all
out
the
of
drivers that got
There's
penalized.
been a lot. It's been one of those days.
Jesus.
We got
Yeah,
penalized because they came
Steve,
in.
this restart could be crazy. We got old tires starting in front of this
We
pack
just
and much
came in on the
newer
close
tires
bid.
behind them.
So this is the strategy that we heard on the radio for SVG, Chastain, SVG, Logano, and Briscoe. Top 4 cars are going to try to change this up and run to a different pit lane.
Let's see how long they can go. They know they can do it on fuel. How do those Goodyear tyres hang in there? Remember, different tyre this year. It was a big discussion before we came to the Glen about the tyre drop-off, the degradation. How will they hang in there? We're about to find out.
Green flag.
Stage 3 begins
This
now.
race went kind of likely.
He really did.
Briscoe!
Briscoe on the inside. Look at that high point forward. Does he
Come
get
on,
Van
Briscoe!
Gisbergen? No, he gets hit. There's contact. They're scrambling everywhere and spreading. Baggy, they're coming your way.
And
Come on,
it is
Briscoe!
chaos leaving turn 1, heading into the S's. They all try to sort it out. Ross Chastain just trying to get out of Dodge right now. Shane Van Gisbergen in second. They are double wide through the S's for the balance
Briscoe
of the
is
field
kind of
as
in a
everybody
much
tries to
situation
sort
after
it all
Atlanta.
out before they get to the backstretch.
It looks like single file from about 5th forward, but this is a good battle here. Joey Logano on the left in the 22, Chris Buescher on the right in the 17 as they work through the bus stop. Hard to go through here too wide, but these guys will do it lap after lap if they have to. They enter the carousel now. Buescher able to take that spot away from Logano just inside the top 10.
Tough racing here side by side. See Eric Jones on the outside, others on the outside, trying to carry that momentum off of this corner. And look at how wild it's going to get on the corner entry. A lot of drivers trying to outbrake each other.
And keep an eye on
Austin Midrick, fastest in practice so far at Dega.
He was on full attack mode on
guy
that
that's
restart
wrecking my
at the
driver
beginning
right
of
now.
stage 3. Here's the Toyota on board of Mark Truex Jr. Let's go for a
Larson
ride.
being on the cut line is wild.
Oof, trouble further back. Todd
Oh.
Gilliland gets muscled off course coming out of turn number 1. He's going to try to
Todd.
bring it back on the
Oh
course
my
and
God!
will. Right in front of Todd
Almost
Gilliland.
almost wrecked Austin Dillon.
Close quarters there as
That was
everybody
scary.
gets stacked up. Todd Gilliland having a problem coming through turn number 1. He'll come right back on the track in front of Ty Gibbs in the 54 and Austin Dillon in the 3.
These cars all racing from the 22nd spot on back. That's where Gilliland rides further up at the front of the field as these cars continue to work through the bus stop. Battles resuming again. There's Alex Bowman on the outside, the 15 car on the inside. That's Kaz Gralla as he works his way through the carousel. They battle for the, looks like the 18th spot, just inside the top 20 out of 5.
Yeah, still side by side. You see further ahead of that battle. Everybody's kind of
We have a
out.
caution.
Bowman trying to make a move on the inside. Has a preferred spot on Kaz Gralla. Going to be able to make that pass. In the background, the 24 William Byron, who just made that big adjustment. He made a big bold move on the inside.
We have William Byron on the attack. Chastain less than a second to SVG as we head to the pits. Kim Kuhn.
Yeah, Chase Briscoe currently running in the 3rd position. One of the playoff drivers that did not
The only
stop
playoff
the end of
driver that's in the top 10 besides Logano.
And here was the
is
thinking and
Briscoe.
strategy behind that move.
Maintain my track position up here. I can win. Like, I'm not going to win if we pit, I don't feel like. Oh, I understand.
Is he going to try to stay out the whole time?
12 points, I think, today. And if we give all of those back because we end up wadded up, I just don't think that's a wise decision. I get it. I mean, I can be smart about it. I just know if I start back there with them, like, it's going to be hard. Like, we're just going to all have the same amount of points.
So that team leaning on the driver to make that decision. Chase feeling really good. Marty, he's spent the week with road course ace Joey Hand preparing for Watkins Glen.
Same thought process for Joey Logano, the winner last week in Atlanta. He's already advanced to the round of 12. Paul Wolf told me, listen, that was really our only move, not to pit there, and all we need out of Joey is 10 to 12 hard laps. Their plan, they'll come about lap 53 or 54, and they should be done pitting for the day, Parker.
And Marty, right at the end of stage 2 there, we saw the 99 spun into the gravel into turn 6 and caused that caution that sort of flipped this race on its head. And I want to point out what happened here. If you look at this wheel, it actually split up.
Ty Majeski fastest in practice now.
Loose. And when these wheels are loose, Steve, they sort of rub and actually split the wheel apart. That caused the flat tire, and that caused them to spin, which brought out the caution. Those are the mistakes that compound in these races. You just cannot make them.
Yeah, you see the aluminum wheel has no luck holding up against that brake caliper.
Watching Kyle Larson come up the hill side by side with Brad Keselowski. They both are buried in the field.
I've been that for 4 years. I don't want to hear it.
Respectively, Keselowski able to keep Kyle Larson in the rear view for now.
They work down the back straightaway as Keselowski plays some defense, trying
to
defend on Larson.
lap,
Meanwhile, a little further ahead, more battles raging inside the top 20 and further forward as they work out of the bus stop. Ty Gibbs on the inside, that orange and black number 54, trying to move Ryan Preece out of his way as they work out of 5.
Yeah, William Byron, that 24 car, he's done a nice job. Clearly some positive changes to that car when they took the time to make them. He's been on full offense now.
There goes Byron.
Preece. He's picked up several spots on this restart.
Up front, Shane Van Gisbergen is not letting Ross Chastain get away. Michael McDowell, who is on considerably fresher tyres, sits third, but he's about 2+ seconds adrift.
Oh.
Let's have a look at this from a few laps ago. Kyle Larson and Brad Keselowski fighting, Steve, over 29th position.
Well, and you see the kind of depth booze Larson.
Seth, fastest in practice. You were working with me. I don't know if we're still. Nope, I'm gone.
But they just know they have to get going.
On pit road.
Oh, Denny Hamlin!
Denny Hamlin, let's go. Let's go.
He's got contact on the back of his race car. Hamlin comes to grief at the bottom of the S's. He's able to refire the car, but as you can tell,
You're cheering.
They are happy about Denny Hamlin, but I guarantee you he is not.
These playoffs have been brutal for Denny Hamlin, even pre-playoff.
I'll take that caution because now Ross, that we're probably gonna have pit. We'll probably see people come down. Do a race on pit road.
Massive loss of points. Crashed at Daytona. Crashed in the
Kyle Larson.
Darlington, and here
wasn't even Larson. It was Brad. It was Brad.
3 wide. I mean, basically he uses the runoff, but the same 5 and 6 that we were showing you were side by side. Brad basically is like, look, man, if you're gonna go to that runoff, you're just not going to squeeze me and have me lift. You see all that dirty rubber. I think the 11 knows he has to get in line. 3 cars just don't fit on the entry to the S's, Jeff.
Yeah, Steve, look, this is simple to me. Denny Hamlin in desperation mode.
Attaboy Brad. Attaboy Brad. I like Brad. I like Brad Keselowski now. He has now earned my respect.
In the worst position he could possibly be.
Brad said, "Move it. Get out the way."
Did not approach Atlanta.
All right, fastest in practice, Chase Elliott. Followed by Ryan Blaney, you, Eric Jones, and Ross Chastain.
Team that you don't normally so calculate. Everything they do is calculated. I don't know, the playoffs just have not seemed like an 11 signature.
3 playoff drivers going 3 side by side into the S.
Yeah, because Larson didn't move. Brad he couldn't go any lower, and Denny pinched Brad. So Brad's like, "All right, motherfucker, fuck you."
Not for where they were running. It was just a mess for this 11 team. Now the story for the front kind of grows. We didn't talk a lot about it, but the fuel window is 37 to 39 laps. We have 43 to go. Pit road will open with 42 to go. We saw in yesterday's Xfinity Series race, Connor Zillage. Congratulations, by the way.
Huge congrats.
First race, pole, and a win. I mean, that's pretty much the best way to do it. Saved a bunch of gas, and I know we talk about Goodyear tires and the fall off and all of these things, but Chastain and SVG have really held track position.
Who won Atlanta?
Do they dare come now and fill their cars up?
Or no, it was Dawson, wasn't
Listen to everybody in the gas or not. Three cars in a spot made for two, or maybe 1.5.
Oh boy, here's Reddick's view.
And you could see the fire coming out of the pipes of the 6 car trying to get out of that. So, you know, the 11 also, actually. So my initial instinct was they were all in there too hot.
Thank you, Brad, for being America's champion.
Expecting the other one to get, they were going to lift, they were going to pull behind, but in retrospect, I think they all were lifting, and they all got slow together, and then 3 wide in a space made for 1.5.
Points as they run now.
Years,
Denny Hamlin, 18 outside the cut line. This has been an expensive couple of races for the FedEx team and Joe Gibbs Racing.
They did win Bristol in the spring.
But going to need to win Bristol in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's just, look, can he? Absolutely. He can win everywhere we go. But I don't think you never want to be put in the must-win position. Let's see if anybody feels like now's the time. Looks like there's some anticipation there from pit road for the 22 car. Leaders stay on the racetrack. I can't tell if pit road's
Joey gonna come down pit road.
Just let your eyes drift back a little bit as Logano first goes. You'll see the red and white car of Carson Hocevar and the black number 50 of Juan Pablo Montoya. They've made up 28 and 26 positions respectively. Marty, Logano.
Joey Logano pits out of the 10th position at the time. They're coming to pit road here. They are outside of their fuel window, but again, this is what a win in the bank does for you. Trying something a little bit different. So the car was better on that run, but man, he was hanging on at the end, Kim.
Disastrous day for Brad Keselowski, so they just had to do something different strategy-wise. Matt McCall bringing him down.
Is this the cutoff race for the round of 12 or next Bristol? I think it's Bristol, isn't it? Or no, what do we got next week for the AI series? Uh-oh, it's happening again.
What happens from here to the checkered flag, we're going to leave Watkins Glen saying it was costly for the playoff drivers.
Oh, okay. Get more when I get out? Yeah. Did I miss something?
I was on the pole for a second, and then
Garrett.
Hey,
Dawson P3. Okay. BP4. Sorry, getting more than car.
I think P7. Seth with P5. Ooh, DJ's 14th. 14th for the 14 car. That's ironic. All right, let's go racing. We're starting dead last. Dead last, Ryan Truex, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Zane Smith.
So the two guys that, let's say, Truex, I don't know about Joey. What Joey does here.
Well, he's starting like dead last, so could be a blessing in disguise because Talladega.
If I saw anything from the Xfinity race, oh boy.
Did you know that next Friday the NASCAR Xfinity Series comes to the CW? It all begins in Bristol.
Right.
When
I got Saturday night off.
Earnhardt Jr.
So
joins the field against the
we will
series
be
top drivers in the
watching
regular
some
season
Bristol
finale.
night action.
NASCAR Xfinity Series
Let's go.
Bristol,
I have weekends off, so I'll be here.
Only on the CW. And to find your local CW station, go to the cw.com/NASCAR. And Ty Gibbs proudly displaying that with the CW big and bold on his hood, and that all begins next Friday at Bristol Motor Speedway.
All right, Garrett, Suarez, front row, Dawson, Ty Gibbs, you, Eric Jones, me and Larson, Blaney then Keel, Justin, Bush, Chastain, Elliott Thomas, Midrick Priest, Avery and Schumacher, Reddick and Bell, Bubba and Noah, JHN and Hocevar, Haley and Gilliland, Burton, Rala,
Briscoe goes 3.
Barry, Busher, McDowell, Byron, LaJoy, Hill, Majeski, Earnhardt, Smith, Hamlin, Logano, and Truex.
Way outside, trying to hang on to second, but here comes Michael McDowell in that
Michael
34
McDowell
car.
did not make
McDowell's got to pump the brakes just a
Corey
tad.
LaJoy.
So SVG will get second. McDowell is third in that green 34.
Flipping burgers.
Corey LaJoy in the 7 car.
Van Gisbergen peeks out of line momentarily as they work down the backstretch. Falls back in
Briscoe
line
faded to
in the
six.
second spot. Those 2 cars behind Chastain, the leader, and Van Gisbergen have some fresher tires, about 20 laps fresher. We'll see how that pays dividends for them later in the run. Everybody amongst the top 20 orderly through the bus stop, but they're battling hard deeper in the pack through turn 5.
Yeah, once again, Chastain.
Dude,
Fast all
what is
day long,
up
continue
here?
to do so.
Get him out of here.
You know, now it's going to boil down, you know, who can avoid trouble late in this race? Who can have speed? How does the strategies work out with only 40 to go? A lot to be determined in this race.
Carson Hocevar on the inside of Chase Briscoe. That's a spirited fight onto the front straight. And you know who we haven't spoken much about, who's a sneaky good road course racer? Chris Buescher is immediately ahead of them.
Watching Busher in the 17, exit turn 1, his downhill run into the S's continue. Battle for second again. SVG getting a lot of company. Briscoe has a lot of company around him. The 77
Yes, sir. I wanted to do that for the bit.
as everybody now climbs up turns 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, you, me, and Dawson are all lined up. We'll do a little work. Let's work together here. The unholy trinity.
There's Chris Buescher as the field works into the bus stop. Single file amongst the top 5 in that battle.
Got a third line development already.
For the 6th spot has sorted out of the exit of the bus stop. Everybody smoothly through this portion of the racetrack. Zane Smith and Eric Jones starting the battle.
Bottom is getting stacked up big. You, me, and Dawson are stuck.
Up through the field, underneath 43 of Eric Jones.
There's no.
Toronto using all the racetrack. It is wild racing back here. It is aggressive. Everybody's trying to get everything he can, but I think you're also a little bit afraid with all the damage so far today. You don't want to have it now this late.
No, we're
That's the issue. 40 to go in the race, 39 this time by leaders, and really the entire field, or most of the field, needs to come to pit road one more time as we see Larson give this 71 a little bit of a shot into the corner.
Dang, Larson.
Watching this battle come downhill, Logano in the 22. You've got the 71 of Smith.
He's running first that 10 rowers.
Back on course. Here again, Logano and Zane Smith. They're side by side. Kyle Larson and the 5 looking on. Logano's able to hang on to the spot. He'll seal off the advance from Smith and Larson exiting 4.
Logano takes over the 23rd spot. Zane Smith in that 71 runs 24th. Larson out of line behind him as they work down into the bus stop. Zane Smith locks it up, able to guide it back to the right, but that maybe may allow Larson to pull a crossover here. Not able to do it through the bus stop. He'll stay in line again. This race
DJ to the lead.
Race for the 24th spot. Zane Smith has it. Larson in the 5 wants it as they work out of the carousel.
Really good racing right there. You can see how badly Larson wants that spot. Zane Smith, he's not in the playoffs. He doesn't care.
I have my teammate behind me now. Got him between me and Blaney. Old Jeffrey.
Playoff drivers racing non-playoff drivers, both trying to figure out whether they belong on the track, Marty.
No way, Logano.
Trying to make its way through the field, Jeff, after stopping a few laps ago at lap 48. As we mentioned during the stop, outside of their fuel window. So why did they do it?
Oh,
Listen
goodbye. Goodbye, Ryan Breed.
Oh, so slow.
They were within a few laps, so figured it was worth coming and getting filled up here and see what happens.
Oh, my God. No way.
It would connect it for us.
So, according to Paul Wolf, Steve, he said one caution would get him there, and that would have been their last stop of the day. Here's my question,
Chastain to
Steve.
the lead with
You
me amigo.
lost for Zane Smith. Holy crap.
Well, I mean, the whole race they've called differently because of that win. So it's hard to know that specific one if you can kind of untangle it. But right now, Logano, dust and dirt and gravel, the 22, 71, and 5, that spirited battle that you talked about, Diffie, they're all on the same lap. Lap 48, they're on pit road, so they're thinking they're racing their own little group together. Now, the leaders here of Chastain and SVG, they are going to be looking at pit road, I assume, in the next couple.
Oh, come on.
Here goes Gizzy, has a look on the inside
Gizzy.
of Ross Chastain. Mike, get ready for
Oh,
it.
you went up to the middle.
You open up the inside lane. lane coming out of 1. Question is, can he seal the deal in
Jeffrey
2?
left me to the third line.
Just a tad, and that's allowed Michael McDowell to catch him.
Oh, I followed you. I followed you to the middle.
LaJoy there as well. A solid 5.
Here comes Michael McDowell.
No, go away, McDowell. Go away, Ford. Go away, Ford.
And his second version, bro.
Go away. I wonder if Ross and SVG are like, they didn't pit under caution, did they? So I wonder if they're saving.
Gets a good run off the corner. Chastain a little better this time out of 5.
I'm incredibly impressed with the speed of these two front-running cars. They have older tires. All we heard all week long is how the tires wear out, they lose speed. They stayed out on older tires, and they've been able to remain first and second. Great speed from them.
Keep your eye on this car here, the BuildSubmarines.com Ford from RFK of Chris Buescher, working on fellow Ford driver Michael McDowell. Pressure is on to try and get that 3rd spot, and we wait for the first 2 to pit.
Come on, man.
Uh-oh, I got tired of riding around at the back and on the bottom. Here I come. I'm on the 3rd line.
We have like 3 to 4 lines working. I'm scared.
Yeah. Outside the bottom line, it's just kind of a scatter. Holy shit, the 3rd line is flying. Ironic, you're with the 45 and the 40. Majeski all the way to the bottom. Here comes Gregson, my future teammate. I'm gonna clear it down, try to pull. Oh, I'm gonna block Haley. I have no help. Okay. I was about to actually go ask, see what I was having for dinner. So I'm hungry. Alright, Gregson, give me a good push here. Come on, push, Gregson, push.
The top lane.
I just fucked the bottom lane by trying to get behind Haley.
Goodbye,
Yep, I fucked the middle. I fucked our lineup. That's my fault.
That whole entire line just got messed up.
That's my fault. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. You gotta remember, man, I'm a rookie. I'm only a rookie.
Dude, here comes Shane! Shane's on the bumper! Uh-oh. Chris Buescher!
Uh-oh.
Chris Buescher!
Chris Buescher. It's Buescher. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Chris Buescher just absolutely chopped him in half.
Holding in non-stop, there's finally a change towards the front.
Get him,
those
Chris!
tires are
Go!
wearing out for Ross Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen because here comes Chris Buescher. The 17 is flying.
Come on, Chris!
Nah, fuck Buescher. Go away, Chris.
I like Chastain. He needs it. This is something he needs.
You see middle pedal on the brake, using the
Ross needs one too.
off the corners, and he'll tap him.
Ross hasn't been cuffed by Kyle Larson. Actually,
No.
Never mind. Sorry, I take that back. I take that
He's
back.
been
Nashville.
lobotomized. He's been lobotomized by Hendrick.
I take that back. Nashville.
Michael, what you got?
Shane Van Gisbergen just came on the radio and said the tires are really going down. Everyone wondered
Shane's
how
having
far
a
you
problem
could go.
with tires.
Everyone in practice only did about 15 laps, and a lot of
I am pushing my teammate on the third line.
and when these tires fall off, well, these guys.
Here comes Captain Fatass, and here comes you leading the reinforcements.
Huge run.
But until they start to lose too much track position as Buescher cleaves Chastain, what a great move.
And Chastain's time at the front
Buescher
has come to an end. Ross
Newlier.
has led more laps here today.
God
than
damn
his
it.
entire road course career. Baggy, it's been fun at the front, but there's a new man getting up there now.
Yeah, it is, and it's Chris Buescher trying to move away, and Shane Van Gisbergen in the 16 car just trying to
Zoomies.
Yeah, no, Shane is struggling.
Shane burned his shit up.
Yeah, Shane is
Ross is probably in the same. Ross is probably in the same situation too.
That's the difference. Charged through this bus stop, just trying to hold on to track position the last couple laps. Both of them using a lot of curving, just trying to stay in front of Buescher. Now Chastain trying to hold off Michael McDowell in that 34, and Shane Van Gisbergen has got Corey LaJoie and Carson Hocevar at his back bumper as they all run second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth on screen.
Oh, Hamlin on pit road.
Hamlin on pit road. See SVG's hands out the window.
Shane's gonna pit.
Letting everybody know that he is going to pit this time.
He has to, dude. His tires are destroyed.
And here he comes. They made it last so well for so long. Ross Chastain.
Here comes Ross.
Gisbergen, who will be teammates at Trackhouse next year.
Yeah.
As SVG steps up to Cups full time. Parker, they're coming your way. Tell us more.
Right, Lee, and the 16 actually fell off a cliff there.
Are we gonna have green flag stops unless we have a caution? Like, or is the rest of the field good till the end?
I don't know on strategy. Oh yeah, by the way, 2 fire cars in the top 5.
Bruh.
LaJoie and Hocevar. This is fun.
The rear, though, he said, is hanging on pretty good. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires. They will be on. You see Chase Briscoe on the bottom just said, I need a little bit more lateral on exit. Overall, though, the car very good.
Well, it's you, me, or it's Barry, me, and you on the bottom with Reddick behind you.
From this point can make it on fuel. So when you come to pit road, really determine, you know, how many guys have pitted. So if the caution comes out, you would lose track position to them. How important do you think Goodyear tires are? Right now, if you pit, you're going to have to run about 31 laps on this final set if you don't want to come back to pit road. So I don't think you're going to see as many pit on the same lap as we normally do. I think they're going to trickle in 5 or 6, 7 at a time over the next maybe 5 or 8 laps.
Well, especially now with knowing, as Chris Buescher dives, knowing all well and good how far Chastain. And then they saw that definite drop-off. Parker?
As we see Chris Buescher hit pit lane here, this is maybe a reaction to seeing the 1 and the 16 come down pit road as they're going to be ripping fast lap times on those newer tires. The 34 team actually came on the radio and said we expect those guys to be slower at the end of the run. So this is the idea of putting these newer tires on now and having the faster lap times against the older tires out there.
31 to go here at the Glen. How's this going to work out? I'll tell you what's working out pretty well. It's Carson
Hocevar is second.
Hocevar.
Oh, we split into 2 packs. You, me, and DJ are in the front pack, and Dawson is at the back, in the back pack. So it's a good thing he won last week, because
he's got truck experience here.
Not looking too good.
Cup car here at the Glen, and he's loving it. And he started a long way back. He has made up 33 spots.
Hocevar?
The Ashley Furniture drivers on the move. There's no one better than Carson Hocevar.
Super impressive. We talk a lot about strategy, but for the 77 and the 7,
not Corey LaJoie. Here it comes.
Pit road, smooth pit stops, no penalties.
And
just kind of raw speed. As now we see the 77.
LaJoie might leave left.
Kind of eyedroppers, 2 or 3 at a time. I like the 77 here. They're going to try to counter the pit stops of the 1 and the 16.
Yeah, coming down pit road has been a nice day for Carson Hocevar so far.
Hey, I'm working with my drafting teammate. Oh, we got pit stops.
As well, but they're really worried about the tires, not so much speed.
DJ is one of them.
Wear-wise, so a lot of crew chiefs running a little bit longer here and leaving their driver out. Kim.
Looks like mostly Ford and Chevys.
Remember that last stop they made big changes, changed the rear bar. This run way better for William Byron. Right now, the plan just to pick for 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. They will go on the jack.
Been a pretty determined comeback from the 24 team, the defending race winner here at Watkins Glen. There's his teammate Alex Bowman. Look at this chaos here at the inner loop.
Well, you got Logano, Larson, and Zane Smith, who still believe that they are on the front end of this strategy, pitting at 48. They feel like
here we go. We're coming in, Seth.
Connected to the finish, and they have run in the Hornet's nest this entire run.
Christopher Bell right there.
And the 06 is just not going. And just cucked both of them.
To go by.
God damn it, Avery. Ty Gibbs on the apron?
And I don't think Dylan liked it. He's giving.
Uh-oh. Is Austin Dillon about to wreck Christopher Bell?
He was so
he did!
He did. Austin Dillon just wrecked Christopher Bell.
Bell trying to come to pit road. The 3 to his right side. The 3's not going to lift and let him across. The 20 gets spun out, gets to pit road now to service of his crew, Marty.
Boy, what an eventful day for Christopher Bell. Diff, you mentioned that wreck early on in the race, and they really haven't been that good of a car today either. Normally so solid at the road.
20 before pit road.
Saw Ty Gibbs going away from there. They chose to hit pit road here. Remember, got 4th place stage points in stage 2 and feel like this is a strategy that puts them in the best finishing position.
What else you want to happen today, Stevie?
Oh, we
20.
Keep in mind, stage 1 was 20 laps, stage 2, 20 laps. This is the longest at 50. This is Michael McDowell, the race leader for Front Row Motorsports in that Benabone Ford.
Chasing down Danny Hamlin, who's had
a nightmare day.
Yeah, quite the day. As you see another car peel off and come to pit road, one of the SHR cars.
Did Eric Jones just run out of gas?
Gregson's had a good day. Qualified in the top 10. That's his best ever
I mean, I think he should be able to make it to pit road.
Kim, tell us more.
That's the stage.
Had a good day. Really, no major complaints. Just could use a little bit more lateral grip, a little.
Larson's out too.
This car very good on the long run right now. We're going to take fresh tires and Sunoco fuel. No major adjustments for Noah Gragson.
No, Larson's not out.
Chase Elliott in as well. Don't feel like we've really.
McDowell is gonna make it to his box.
There's just been so much else going
barely.
on.
Oh my God, Michael McDowell! Look at this, Seth. He ran out in the box. Oh, no, he's not gonna be able to do his stop.
Taking a little bit of pressure off you heading to Bristol next week.
Wait. Almost.
Meanwhile, Michael
I think he got it.
Cleared.
Wow.
Oh, nope, he didn't. Oh my God.
Place.
Oh,
Michael
has a
2.2 second lead over Corey LaJoy. LaJoy's teammate Hocevar pitted. We
Larson.
saw that on board.
Larson wins the stage.
Truex
Okay,
Jr.
Larson.
Sits 3rd at the moment.
They really had a monster day. I mean, Truex has scored 10 points in the stages.
Speaking of
Came in
Larson,
19 below. Both below that yellow line. Looks like they're coming to pit road. That's what it looks like off the rear bumper of Truex. Looking back at Josh Berry, Marty.
Comes from 3rd, as Diff mentioned, but during the cycle when everybody else was out there, ran about 8th, but the highest running playoff driver.
This is the highest we've ran all day is 14.
Really worried
This
about
sucks.
tire wear. Truex has had problems with the left rear cording all day long, so that's why James Small wanted to leave him out, but this will be the longest run of the day for Truex. We'll check his tires too when they get over this side of pit wall, Kim.
As you see Alex Bowman coming in, they've had a great 2 weeks.
All right, I'm gonna grab food.
Feeling really good with the car
No,
right
we've
now.
done the
so it's just going
stage.
to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel for Alex Bowman.
The Chicago Street Race winner. The Ally Chevrolet Hendrick Motorsports, more valuable points to consolidate his spot in the playoffs, heading to Bristol and to advance to the next round. He is in the middle of the top 12, and that's pretty nice. All right, so here we go. Christopher Bell in the yellow car on the right-hand side of your screen. Kyle Larson on the outside. The green machine in the background. There's the first bit of contact between Austin Dillon and Christopher Bell.
So he's pushing and he's shoving, and the 20 right here, I think, is trying to get to the right to come to pit road, but he moves left. I don't know if he was kind of shoved that way, doesn't know that the 3's there, but either way, the 3 is trying to pass the 20. He doesn't know or doesn't care, maybe, that the 20's coming to pit road, so as the 20 turns left and slows down, the 3's picking up the gas to leave the corner. He was running 12th with all that happened.
Just lifted it around. And that's a shame for Christopher Bell because he was running 12th after that comeback from the opening lap incident. So again, another example of a costly day for yet another playoff driver. Michael McDowell, unfortunately, is not in the playoffs. But a win is a win, and if he can drive his front row forward to a victory here at the Glen, that'd be special.
All right, left side, you see last pit, McDowell, LaJoy, Cindric, yet to pit, Logano, Smith, Larson, Keselowski, trying to stretch tires and fuel. First car, green light, Chris Buescher, 14th.
And that move from Grosjean, that was for position. Both those drivers on the same lap, so it's looking worse and worse for the 41 and Stingray Rob.
Okay,
How patient can Colton Herta be here? Now he's in the meat of the slower cars, looking for those easy runs. This one's not, I was going to say that's not good enough, but Colton decides at the last second to fire it inside as we ride with Firestone telemetry. Maybe we'll get a chance to see how he uses the hybrid system. He's at 49% across the line. Off throttle, he gets a recharge.
I'll tell you what's tough to do is take care of that right front in dirty air. He doesn't have to push. He's got a nice buffer to Kyle Kirkwood, who's now gotten past David Malukas to have an Andretti Global 1-2 on the charts right now, but he is still trying to get through this traffic, keeping his eye on the tire temperature for that right front. Right now, he is absolutely controlling this thing.
You just saw him go by Will Power. That puts Power back 5 laps down, who came in second in the championship. Herta is hooked up right now. That's going by Stingray Robb.
I'll tell you who's coming quickly is his teammate Kyle Kirkwood, also hungry for his first oval win. Remember, the teammates finished 1-2 at Toronto. It was Kyle Kirkwood kind of protecting. I'm not sure if Kirkwood is happy to just sit back and finish second. He gets Scott Dixon, but Kirkwood closing quickly.
Powered by NTT, you can see the last 3 lap speeds, a massive advantage there to Kyle Kirkwood as Herta has been getting all this traffic he's had to deal with. Kyle's got to get through it now himself, but he has been looking very racy since this last stop.
This is our last commercial break.
I'm back.
We'll then take you to the checkers, finds the finale, and the championship in Nashville.
Exciting careers are available now.
Corey LaJoie leading laps is crazy.
Generation of U.S. Navy submarines to life. If you're looking for a stable, impactful career, visit buildsubmarines.com. We build giants because it takes one to build one. And there is the buildsubmarines.com forward of Chris Buescher, who's enjoying a really solid run here as we welcome you back to the Go Bowling at the Glen NASCAR playoffs. Well and truly alive, like this race has been epic in many ways. Hasn't been so great for a lot of playoff drivers, Marty, but it hasn't been too bad for Austin Cindric.
The forever pit cycle continues, Lee, with Austin Cindric coming down pit road. Brian Wilson wanted to cut this way more in half, so this is going to be 23 laps on this set of tires for Austin Cindric to go to the end, who said the car is really good. We'll see what progress he makes when he comes back out on the track.
So why run longer? Well, the risk is a yellow. Cars will probably stay out. You'll have to pit. The advantage is now he'll have those fresher Goodyear tires as we see kind of a sprint to the finish, or I call it a sprint, 23 laps to go. Corey LaJoie continues to run out here with the lead. What a drive by Corey LaJoie.
Pitting this time in the Gainbridge Chevy. And they're going to have to keep an eye out in the background with this, like Marty said, ever cycling pit stop rotation. They're going to have to keep an eye out. In position 11, car 16, Van Gisbergen is more than a second quicker than anybody in front of him. As LaJoie comes to the pits on board with thanks to WeatherTech. SVG has been slicing them up since that last stop.
So if we look at the leaderboard, let's kind of update you now that we have 23 to go, what the plan is and what everyone needs from here. Right, so Joey Logano is leading the race, last on pit road at 48. Smith the same, Larson, Keselowski, Suarez. We see LaJoie continue to drop. They're trying to nurse their fuel and their tires, maybe all the way to the end. If we get a yellow, they may choose to pit, but the strategy is to kind of nurse them. On board with SVG, he's trying to push them. So back to the rundown, you see Buescher in 6th, Hocevar in 7th, SVG in 9th. That's kind of the freshest tire trying to happen. Is now SVG with an aggressive move off the S's, heading in front of Dylan in the bus stop.
And both of these cars, the 77 and 16, good on fuel. So they
Shane, he wrecked the 20. Be careful.
The bus stop. Hocevar does, and he gets away. Austin Dillon, a roadblock for Shane Van Gisbergen right now.
Get out of the way.
SVG gives him a wave. Finally gets
out of the way,
as they enter
ex-girlfriend.
the carousel. And now these cars that you see on screen, Van Gisbergen and Hocevar, full attack as they try to charge through the field.
Oh boy, the other two are going to beat them up the race.
Up the
They're back.
S's. There was
Hello.
nothing Austin Dillon could do against that. Now this battle rages side by side. The 3 and the 21, they're both pretty much on the same tires. Wonder when they're going to pit. Both of those guys kind of on the same strategy as Logano at the moment.
And keep an eye out for Chris Buescher as well, because remember Buescher got by Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen, so it's Buescher, Hocevar, Van Gisbergen all pitted in the same neighborhood. Bagman.
Right now, Buescher is up to the 6th position. He's got some open racetrack to work with. That should allow him to perhaps maybe close in on Daniel Suarez and Brad Keselowski. Here's Buescher. A lot of open real estate. Dillon in front of him.
And he was very efficient after that pit cycle of getting through some of this slower traffic. That still on the lead lap and at pace, but the tire advantage much more pronounced for Buescher here as he works into turn number 5. Just ahead of him up the road there, that's Brad Keselowski and Daniel Suarez. They're 4th and 5th on the racetrack, but Buescher is tracking them down.
Yeah, Buescher will be the leader if he can get by these guys, or if when they pit, he will be leading this strategy. Behind him, Hocevar, SVG, Chastain. Question is, can any of these guys that pitted on lap 48, can they stretch it 21 more laps?
They're all going to try, Jeff. I don't think they're comfortable with their fuel position, but they're within like a handful, 2 or 3 or 4 short. The question is, if you just don't think you can make it, don't run so long on the tires, as now we see Larson jumping off that onto another plan.
Parker?
Right, guys, that's what Daniel said. We weren't going to make it, so they're going to come down to pit road here for Kyle Larson, the 5, trying to recover from that incident down in turn 1 where they got sent to the back. We've watched him all day trying to muscle his way to the field, and we'll see now where he rejoins.
And if you hadn't heard the news earlier this week, it's good news. If you're a Kyle Larson fan, he's going to do the double again, the Indianapolis 500, the Coke 600 next year. And there's that collaboration between Hendrick Motorsports and the Arrow McLaren IndyCar team. It kind of got a little bit, got a wet blanket thrown on it this year at the Charlotte end of the deal. He did so well at Indianapolis, and he's going to try it again. And I think he's got a good shot at doing it, weather permitting.
Yeah, his pace was so impressive. And I think what they call it, unfinished business. This is the trouble right here for the 17 of Buescher. As we see it, SVG and Hocevar. How about Hocevar? Kind of, you know, SVG got by him, but Hocevar's chasing him down, trying to figure out a pace, trying to learn from the road course veteran in front of him. But Buescher's problem is he's a little hung up now behind the 99 and the 6. As now we see the 71 pit. So as Jeff Burton pointed out, will they try to stretch it? We're starting to see more and more guys abandon that plan.
Suarez is in, Parker's there.
And what a recovery for this 99 team. Remember, they spun out at the end of stage 2, went a lap down, got back to lead lap, found themselves in the top 5 as it starts to cycle through, pitting for the top 5 position there, putting 4 Goodyear tires in Sunoco field. We'll see where he rejoins, but they were not going to make it on fuel.
Teammate and teammate here, one in the playoffs, one not. And the boss man, Brad Keselowski, moves over and lets Chris Buescher through as he continues to make progress. It's a chase down between Buescher and Van Gisbergen. Hocevar and Chastain staying in there. 19 to go.
Womp womp.
Between O'Ward and...
So we have telemetry in the booth that helps us with that, but when they're all bunched up together, they're too close to be able to see.
Kirkwood comes to pit lane, your leader. This is going to let us see how it all shakes out as everybody on the one lap down program gets that lap back. And Dave, the 27 is coming to you.
And Hinch, you know how to save a little time on a pit stop. You don't see tires laid out there. This is going to be splash and go for pole sitter Kyle Kirkwood.
Nice call. I like that from the 27 crew with only 12 to go. The tires are hot. The primaries have been holding on. Now we've got to see where Keith Glen's back out. We see now the difference between...
Update, and we put the spotlight on Martin Truex Jr. of Joe Gibbs Racing. This, if he can stay where he is, or maybe even get into the top 10.
Oh my
God. It would be his first top 10 since Pocono, some 7-8 races ago. It has been a frustrating, to say the least, time for the 19 team when they know they've got the speed, they know they've got a good car, And maybe today is the end of that bad luck run for the 19. Meanwhile, at the front, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher. The man who leads the playoff standings up against the driver who...
Buescher open up the inside lane. He's going to dive to the inside
Goodbye,
of the 22 of
Buescher.
Logano, and Buescher will take the lead. Logano's just got to let him go. He can't challenge
Logano
that
just
move
say, I'm
right
not
there
doing
at
it.
the beginning of the S's. And once Buescher's grabbed the lead in the 17, he is
That
pulled
lets me go
away
in the
by
Talladega
4,
race.
by 5,
Yep.
by 6
Over
car
wide.
lengths. Dylan, he has put those Ford sails in the wind, and Chris Buescher is gone.
No contest for
Chris
sure.
Buescher
The
is
tires for
gone.
Buescher definitely
He's flying.
paying advantage for him as he is continuing to gap Logano through the bus stop as the rest of the cars work into the
pit stop.
Brala spun around at the exit of turn number 7. He is off the racing line. We'll have to see if this is going to bring out a caution or not. He's able to get going, but heavy damage to the rear of that 15 car.
Heavy
Oh my
damage,
God.
Man. He had to make some real significant contact.
Heavy rear end damage.
Damn it. I was hoping it wasn't going to roll.
Me too, I want to cross.
Said he destroyed us.
Wonder who it
Somebody,
was.
somebody must have gotten the back. Gralla sent him off into that final corner. Let's take a look.
Oh, is that Daniel Hemrick?
Looks like
That's Daniel Hemrick. Oh,
Well, I don't know what the disagreement was between them.
And there's a pretty straightforward example of older tires versus fresher ones. Joey Logano lighting it up off the final turn, and Buescher having a better run and able to brake a little deeper and get on the inside.
4 wide.
I really think with
Holy
16
crap.
to go, what you're looking at, assuming we run green, is can SVG or the one of Chastain run down Buescher, namely SVG. He's got
Here we go. Pit stops.
of the racetrack. So SVG runs third right now. There's Logano. He'll catch him probably in less than a lap and shouldn't have any issues getting by him. Logano still on that fuel save with older tires, but he's got to get by him soon. 15 to go this time.
tire. Have a little bit of pace later in the run. I think that's one of the skills that he possesses. We got to take advantage. You see the 77, the 1 going at it.
The gap only came down by about 1/10 of a second from Buescher to Van Gisbergen, as you see Hocevar fighting here with Ross Chastain. Kim Kuhn.
Brad Keselowski currently running in that 4th position. They last stopped.
Bruh.
Matt, how many to go until we start saving a little? Let's do it in about 4 more laps. Just a little each time, and we'll let it go if it's enough. Okay, thank you. If we can make it, it's going to be about 21st or 22nd.
So that team 1 lap short. Brad needing to save, trying to salvage their day after a number of pit road mistakes here at the Glen.
Keselowski working out of the bus stop right now with Hocevar behind him. 5th spot, Shane Van Gisbergen just got by Joey Logano at the entry to the bus stop. He goes to 2nd.
The SVG, he is now clear. Buescher's in front of him. He can see him. There's no cars in between them. Now he can see his target. Now go get him.
And that's come down, Jeff, from 4.9 seconds to 4.1
Oh.
just in the last lap.
And your Optus Recti gives on pit road, and that's probably...
To Van Gisbergen. The race is on. He got pushed around, shoved around in the Xfinity race yesterday. He wants revenge today.
Well, Ty got out of the way, but that fucked us all.
Black flag him.
Oh, yellow's up. He's still getting a black flag.
I'm assuming it's for Ty Gibbs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that probably fucked us because you and I were both on pit road. Logano just ran out of gas. It's under caution, so nothing I can do about it. Sucks to suck. Dawson made it to his box. Say I'm sitting 33rd right now. Better go serve that lap fucking black flag, Haley. You're gonna get your ass DQ'd, bitch. Yeah, you literally just hooked a, because you were behind those, or you were on the inside, and you were slowing up to go to your box, and Haley just hooked a left and hooked Ty Gibbs across right in the middle of pit road. But Dawson Wise is your leader. I am literally the last car, or the second to, or third to last car on the lead lap.
Alex Blow is your 3-time IndyCar champion.
Nice. Well, everyone made pit stops. I'm gonna shorten the thing. I'm gonna shorten the fucking.
This Friday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series
what is
comes
it?
to the CW.
Exclamation point.
Bristol, when our friend and Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I did.
joins the regular field against the
Only
series
football
top
game
drivers.
on
It's the end of the regular season. By
Tony
the way,
Romo
Xfinity
announced
Series.
Patrick
Racing from
Mahomes
Bristol Friday night, 7
game.
p.m. Eastern, 4
I'm not
Pacific,
watching
only
that
on the
shit.
CW. And if you need to find your local
Fuck
CW
to
station,
the no.
head to thecw.com/NASCAR. As we continue the Go
Guys
Bowling
just can't
here
get
at the
enough
Glen,
racing?
Watkins Glen
Nope.
in New York. Lee Diffie, Steve Letarte with you. Jeff Burton is out on turn 6. Dylan Welsh, the bagman, Mike Bagley. We're doing it radio style, and we're doing it racing to the end. Just 4 seconds between Chris Buescher and Shane Van Gisbergen. The Texan and the New Zealander at the front of this race. Who's going to look after their tires the best over these closing 12 laps?
Yeah, SVG has maybe a tenth or two, sometimes 3/10 better pace. Can he keep that for the 10 laps? And is that enough? Buescher has a 4-second gap with now 11 to go.
We're all going to be watching.
I don't know if Shane's gonna be able to catch him.
And whatnot, as there's trouble on the racetrack. Looks like Harrison.
Yeah, that's gonna be a caution. They're gonna throw a yellow for
He's
that.
got a left rear that's flat, and he's going to come out of the bus stop with nobody really around him. Zanesberg, or rather Kyle Busch, will go around his inside. But he
You have to pay for these
underpowered
fucking
going
AI
through the
races.
carousel. Just going to be
No.
a matter of that tire.
As if it's multiplayer, like if I like hosted it so people could join it, I would.
Tire will come off and end up in a spot where the caution has to be waived. He's coming down the backstretch in front of Jeff. Bad luck for your son, but the left rear so far staying on.
So far it stayed on.
Yeah,
Lots of debris coming off of it. I think NASCAR's going to be putting a spot here.
There's gonna be debris on the track too.
Behind him.
Yeah, he just left debris on the track.
Here comes Chris Buescher. Here comes SVG.
Oh!
Yeah.
The main tire.
About fucking time, NASCAR. Jesus Christ.
Oh, and what a break for the two cars that were on pit road. Keselowski and Logano jumped.
That's
pit
huge
road.
for the
second
watermelon
row
and the
yellow. They get
Shane.
yellow because of that tire debris. Let's see exactly what happens. Coming down the back straightaway. Oh, the flat tire before the bus stop. Nothing the driver could do. Actually did a nice job keeping the car under control and keeping it straight.
Stevie, that's Steve, a bad break for the 21, because had that caution come out 4 or 5 seconds before, they made
Time for Hail Melon Mark II.
However,
oh my God,
Electric Boogaloo.
You cannot be the first car lap down.
And Jeff Harrison is the 10th
Might just need some new rubber.
playoff driver
Walmart would sell
affected
it.
by something today. It has been highly eventful for the 16 playoff drivers.
Oh, maybe I'll
Chris
just watch the
Buescher's
football game
4-second
on.
lead has evaporated. That gives Shane Van Gisbergen another shot as we enter the final 10 laps.
Here, and I'm happy we got the championship back home.
All right, we'll talk to you in a little bit. We're going to let you celebrate down here. Some breaking news going on. We have to break away, and we'll send it back to you, Kev.
Bindi bar.
Okay, so it's a fluid situation. Peacock may be your source for here, but in the meantime, we're going to take you to NBC News.
Griffin, this is gonna be a 2-lap shootout.
Yep.
We are nowhere to the front.
None of us are.
DJ is. Okay.
So the field didn't go.
They're gonna catch up eventually.
They're gonna freight train that 2-car tandem. Oh my god, they're gonna freight train it. I'm stuck on the bottom, of course.
Sure. 15th? Will it be further back or further forward? Who will be the first guy that feels that their day will be best suited with fresh Goodyears? Truex?
White flag.
How are they not freight training these two?
Pit road, and this is what happens. They kind of start the funnel, and the majority behind them join. Kim?
And for Chase Elliott and teammate William Byron, both these teams knowing they couldn't win with what they had.
Will it be further back or further forward? Who will be the...
Huge one for Ryan Priest. You said this is the white flag?
Priest got him.
Wow. Priest gets the second one of the season.
In the twilight of Stuart Haas.
DJ, yeah, now Stuart Haas now had 3 out of 4 drivers winning.
Byron as he gets 4 fresh Goodyear tires. And
Denny Hamlin second. Gee.
Exclusive gear, autograph merchandise, and one-of-a-kind
Yikes. 32nd for me. That's a yikes. Dawson 34th. Yeah, Ty Gibbs 33rd. Larson 31st. Blaney 29th. Bush 28th. Elliott 27th. U 26th. Not a good day for the playoff guys. Highest playoff dude was Byron? No, Byron didn't make it.
Every year is iconic. It has become
Chastain in 7th.
over the decades. It's at a different time of year. This year it's a little bit later. First time in the playoffs, but it's worked. It's worked out great.
Great. That means what's the cutoff race in this round? The next race, right? Oh god, that means I'm gonna be in a fucking big points need going to the Glen. Great.
Last night in Texas. If you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, block your ears, because Hunter Lawrence, it was Jet Lawrence last week, Hunter Lawrence won last night. Good stuff. Both brothers have had a win in the playoffs. It leads it to Las Vegas and the Super Motocross World Championship decider. That is Saturday, 9:30.
Yeah, because I was only +6.
Peacock, in fact, all 31 rounds of the SMX World
I'm going to be on the outside looking in stuff.
Peacock, and there'll be an encore presentation at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday.
I think you and me both are going to be on the outside looking in.
Where you carry your points through from the Supercross season to the Pro Motocross season, and it all funnels down to the final 3. And the final 2 are done, Stevie. The big ones left.
The big ones left. I love the format. I love the pressure. I love combining kind of the indoor and the outdoor seasons. Gives the fans just so much great motorcycle racing to finish the year.
Okay, so you've got a Xfinity Series champion from several years ago who sits at the head of this field, up against the 3-time Supercars champion and a Bathurst 1000 winner By the way, Shane Van Gisbergen's partner, Jess, who moved to the US with him, Jess has got her dad here. And her dad just happens to be Roland Dane, who created the Red Bull 888 engineering supercar powerhouse that Van Gisbergen used to drive for. So for Roland Dane and his
We're about to see some fucking Hail Melon shit here. Ross is about to be driving like a weapon, and I love it.
Yesterday, it was another Red Bull athlete, Connor Zilic, winning in his first ever race. Another youngster, Carson.
All right, Seth, but we're still pacing if you want to get pictures real quick.
Third, that black car, the 15 Mobil 1 on the hood, that's Juan Pablo Montoya. He got the free pass, so he'll be driving past, which will put Hocevar right there in the third position.
I think Marty told us earlier that Montoya had a suspected puncture. Marty, I think that's the reason that took him out, because he was on the lead lap. He was in the top 10 earlier.
Yeah, he at one point had a flat. That's what happened to Juan Montoya. Let's talk about Martin Truex Jr. He was certainly a focus before the race came in, 19 below the cut line. And I go back to what happened in stage 1. They won that stage, got those 10 points, and because of that, you see it on the left-hand side of your screen. Right now, Truex +1 above the cut line. And they asked him a moment ago, hey, how are the tires? He said, not great. But James Small kept him out, Kim, saying, hey, you got to hang on to it for these final few laps.
Yeah, it has been a roller coaster of a day for Brad Keselowski. As you see, the point stand -1. That's where they came in. I think that's actually a good thing based on how bad of a day this team has had. They've had 2 pit road penalties, speeding, and then a tire outside of the box. Despite that, have tried to salvage their day. They caught a break with that caution being already on pit road. So Brad Keselowski currently sits in the 18th position, Parker, with 4 fresh Goodyear tires.
And so does Ty Gibbs, having 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Remember, he came into this race just +1 above the cut line. The team told me they didn't feel like they maybe had the speed to win. They wanted to get those points. They were able to do that in stage 2, finishing 4th in that stage. He recently just came down pit road to get tires because he had flat spotted that last set. They'll see what positions they can make up here, sitting just 1 point below the cut line as they currently run, Kim.
Let's talk about the great day that Chase Briscoe is having. Got stage points in both stages. They are making this a 2-stop strategy race. Great call by crew chief Richard Boswell. That was from some input, though, by his driver, Chase Briscoe. And like Lee said, he's been working with Joey Hand all week long, perfecting his lines, perfecting his cross. Joey actually still here, actually sending information to the team on what Chase can do better throughout this. But this team had such a good attitude coming into this race. They came in -21. Right now they sit +4. I asked him what that
so Hocevar has
kind of means for their mentality.
the melon behind him, and Buscher has Van Gisbergen. This is we're about to have another wreck.
How about that black, yellow, and blue Gainbridge Chevrolet from Spire Motorsports?
Why is Corey LaJoie still here?
Top 10 on a road course. His best overall
why is he still here?
Is a 4th.
Like it was funny. Like haha, he was haha flipping burgers.
Well, Preece is in the top 10. Going.
He can go back. He can go to the back now.
Start finish where they're going to have just.
I swear to God, if Corey LaJoie backs into a fucking win.
The Glen. Carson Hocevar in the mix. And let's get ready to
Here we go, Ross.
How's it going to work out?
Drive it like you stole it.
Who's not? Who's got the speed? Who's got the better tires? Time to bring the action in the Glen. Let's go. Chris Buescher with an excellent placement of his car, but it opens up that inside line back here to SVG.
SVG had an open lane, but he wasn't close enough to capitalize. Instead, it's Chris Buescher. He'll punch his way through to the lead. Hocevar now second. SVG is third. They're going to stack them up double wide for fourth.
Ross had a big wiggle.
There at the top of your screen. Chastain and Briscoe.
Yellow.
Oh,
Brad.
William Byron. Keselowski's involved. Everybody else will find their way
that is Brad all right? Because that tire is like on top of Brad.
With Keselowski pinned underneath.
My goodness.
No, Brad's driving the car, so.
Race winner William Byron, playoff driver William Byron, playoff driver Brad Keselowski. The craziness at the Glen continues. We posed the question right at the beginning of the day. Would this be a wild card race that had an impact on the overall playoff picture? The answer is a resounding yes.
Absolutely. Good to see both cars drive away. It was a scary situation where that right front tire of the
holy shit
ended up kind of up there near the door top. Window net still intact. You see now the damage kind of behind the window net on the quarter panel for the 6. Let's take a look at what happened.
What happened?
There it is, the orange and blue car side by side with Logano.
Joey Logano.
Logano kind of gets into the 6 or vice versa, but either
Oh
way.
my!
Oh, fuck! That car, the wheel, the wheel.
It was super tight. That is such a funnel through there.
It looked like their wheels like rubbed and it shot the 24 airborne.
Wow.
And there were.
What the fuck? Physics?
How?
How does a car do that? How does a car do that? It just like went up. It went up.
The double height of the Armco there, the extra third layer, not just a normal two-height Armco.
Okay, so iRacing is accurate with netcode launches.
You see all the way at the top of it.
These cars are just made out of bouncy balls.
Scary if he gets above that Armco into the catch fence. Fortunately, not the case. It's so hard to tell. We see the beating and banging. I don't know who's in the appropriate lane. It's so. You said narrow.
I think he's at work still.
It's just a funnel, right? It's just a tunnel.
I know he's in here. I think he's on his phone.
That section is blind. When
I thought he said he worked till 7.
To the right, and William had just gone to the left of Logano. Logano kind of got hung up a little bit on Brad Keselowski.
That's a lot of damage.
Hey, we're up a couple positions. Yay, we're 24.
It all unfolded, unfortunately, for the 24.
I have no steering to the right.
Yep, Byron's done.
Does you care if I invite my buddy Chris to watch the race?
And some beaten up playoff points.
He said he was steering the right. He can't get it over to come to pit.
I'm not at work. I'm home.
I'm just gonna have to.
Byron is dead.
Let's listen into the 22 of Joey Logano.
Dude, I was in my car and I was like, okay, they got through 1 on the radio, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go up and go in. And the last thing I heard was,
what up, Chris?
What up? I'm Chris, y'all.
Chris, you've met my dad.
Yeah, what's up?
Tyler Reddick is Seth, and Kyle Larson is Dawson.
All day about these Goodyear tires and the
yeah, Seth, the last thing I heard on the radio before I went in, it was like, they're through turn 1. And then David, he goes, oh, we got Trump! And that's all I heard. I was like, okay.
Oh my God!
How that car did that is just fucking weird.
Over the barrier.
There's nothing you can do. The harder you try, the harder
did you catch that, Chris? What just happened?
Yeah, I literally just switched it because I'm watching Game 7 of the semi-final championship. Well, on Rocket League right now, I'm watching Game 7 of Formula One Spaces G2. But yeah, no, I switched back to NASCAR and I seen Byron fucking fly up. I was like, holy shit,
quirky.
Thank you, Joey Logano.
Fucking sliced bread.
Leave it to Joey Logano to win and then wreck people who are actually racing for points.
To tip him left.
Yeah, sabotaging competition because he's a fucking queer.
Bonk.
Only for that to be shut off.
Under the Mario jump.
Wow.
So anyways, I think we're P12.
Yeah, we're like P28, bro.
Good, stay back there.
I'm in 4th.
Ever since we got spun by Austin Cindric, we've just been absolutely
watching Austin Dillon dump Christopher Bell was pretty satisfying.
I require a Carson Hocevar victory, please.
Fresh tires along with his teammate, the 9 of Chase Elliott. Elliott passes 6
That's not supposed to. Okay. Oh, there's a. Okay.
Soft pretzel bite
is caved in.
That Brad Keselowski's been involved in today, unfortunately, for the 6. Must be
all right, we're winning from 12. Here we go.
Oh yeah, by the way,
right from the very first lap, look at the state of his race car.
Uh-oh.
I like it. I like
He's
it.
the highest playoff driver right now.
I like it. Hey, he's having a pretty good round 1. Where did he finish last week?
He DNF'd because Kyle Larson died.
Sorry.
Where did he finish? Dead last.
Well, okay, so focused on Larson wrecking that I forget Briscoe was involved in the wreck.
Briscoe almost made it through, and then he had nowhere to go.
Also, can we talk about the 11 team saying that Brad wrecking them was on Larson? That was fucking funny.
I'm telling you, bro, we're rent-free in their heads.
Because Larson didn't even move. Oh, you're watching the Lions get their ass beat?
Did they lose?
They lost.
Good.
Nice.
Packers won and Vikings beat the Niners.
Throwing the ball down the field.
And I'm going to try to show my speed and run Busher down. But in the end, it just wasn't enough.
I think it's halftime right now. This Cardinals game.
77 right here going through the
Dude,
77 does a nice job.
I'm back in on the NFL. I'm back in on the NFL.
So now we'll see where the 77.
We're not terrible.
Chris, I know you don't want to hear this, but how did you lose to Luke Getzey and the Raiders? I'm sorry. How did you let that happen?
Yeah,
I'm upset by that, man. Fucking our offense is looking pretty. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of questions involved in this
whatever it might be. let's take this moment to give a shout out
Oh, we got
to
here,
Spire
Dawson.
Motorsports, because at the moment, all three of their drivers.
Dude, oh my God!
Carson Hocevar in
And the Lions went to Lions went to.
and Smith in.
Yeah, here's the thing: the Lions went to overtime against that team.
Look at this.
Okay, Kyler Murray. Wait, BO6 hasn't dropped yet. Just wait. BO6 hasn't dropped.
Enjoying the month before BO6 drops and he sucks again.
From really just a
The Lions go to overtime with the Rams and the Cardinals blow them out. Lions are suspect, and then the Lions got
Cardinals beat the Rams.
Yes, they killed them. Oh, well, they're killing them.
The best thing about that Lions game is that they fucked up at halftime. They fuck up at halftime, and Campbell sends out the special teams unit before they spike the ball, so they got a 12 men on the field penalty, and they missed out on a fucking field goal, and they lost by 4. And
That's hilarious.
Right at the end, they had to go for it twice on 4th down because they couldn't kick the field goal to win the game. So if they wouldn't have fucked up at halftime, they'd have won that fucking game.
I love it.
I may go on Saturday. I haven't decided yet.
I swear, if you go and Denny Hamlin wins, I'm kicking you square in the dick.
Well, let's be fair. I've been to now 4 Bristol Cup races. He's only won 2 of them. So I mean,
that's still 50% chance. That's a coin flip. No, I will kick you in the dick.
To be fair, last year when he won the night race, he wasn't in a must-win position. So I mean,
there were 54 lead changes.
And you won't even be ready for it. We're just gonna be like walking around the boulevard, and you're gonna be standing there. I'm gonna walk up and boot you, size 11, right to the cock.
Oh, you can't say that about Denny Hamlin. He's such a good guy.
What up, Perio Santos?
Pyro Santos.
All things playoff. So we highlighted last week.
He's pretty good at his job.
My fantasy game is officially a game again. Thank you to Marvin Harrison Jr. So I'm gonna need some special things from C-Dub tonight.
You want 5 or 6 touchdowns?
As many as you can get me.
All right, 12's good.
For anyone that wants to watch the Patrick Mahomes nut love, here it is.
I don't want to watch that.
You would blow a tire.
I have 3 streams going.
At the halftime.
3 streams going.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to watch the Patrick Mahomes Taylor Swift.
I watched.
Oh yeah, I gotta get my jersey on.
I was in there for one play.
Oh shoot, I gotta get mine on.
I was in there for one play, and the Chiefs threw a screen pass because Cincinnati is just playing prevent. So Mahomes threw a screen pass that went for 1 yard, and I heard Tony Romo go, "Man, that was such a smart play by the Chiefs for that little sneaky screen pass for a few yards." And it's like, dude, they got 1 fucking yard.
I'm ready.
And he's still, oh god, Chiefs,
all right,
still good.
We're officially decked. I got my jersey on for the second half. Let's do this.
That might have been my issue. I didn't wear any Ravens gear today.
Is this dude leading the race?
I would like to say I can't imagine losing to the Raiders, but the Cardinals lost 13 games last year, so I probably can.
Yeah, I mean, Devontae Adams looked like Gardner Minshew. He's not like fantastic, but he's a dog as a backup quarterback.
When you have
sometimes.
Devontae Adams out there,
and that
makes
too.
quarterbacks
Yeah.
look good.
Who?
Yep.
Who's a dog?
When he's Gardner Minshew
Oh, yeah.
is a backup quarterback, he's a dog sometimes.
Yeah,
and he decided to step up today.
Baker Mayfield looked fucking beautiful against the Lions today.
Dude, Baker Mayfield looks good.
I saw a short, and it was a guy called into a Browns or a Cleveland
he's
sports
so lucky
show.
he didn't end up in the catch.
Yeah.
So I watched the short the other day, and it was a it was a Cleveland sports talk show, like on the radio. And somebody called in. It was like, since Baker Mayfield has left the Browns and Deshaun Watson's come in, they compared their QBR, and the guy's like, no, I'm not listening to this first call. No, he just starts going crazy, and it's like Watson has like a 48, and Mayfield's got like a 102.
Just don't wreck. Survived the race, and we finished like 3rd of the playoff drivers. I'm fine with that.
Here we go, Ross. Hail Melon.
Dude, he gave Hocevar the outside this time. I can't believe that.
Here, the Hail Melon.
Carson Hocevar, please.
7.5 miles to determine the winner of this one.
That windshield wiper?
Who's
Yeah.
going to get the best result?
Van.
Who's going to win this one?
So on short track,
Do 4 drivers get eliminated after today's race?
Next week.
Oh, next week.
It's Bristol.
This is gonna be a crash.
Oh, Larson's middle.
Larson's middle. Told you, yellow.
Nah, you gotta cheer on the watermelon. Or Shane. Shane's gonna be on the 88 next year.
Track. I don't know who it is.
I like
running out of track.
SVG
We just wrecked somebody. Larson just wrecked somebody.
Oh, he was right. He was right.
I reckon.
It's
Reddick. Tyler Reddick.
yeah,
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was us. That was Larson.
You were,
Chris, so Shane's gonna be driving for Trackhouse in the Cup Series next year.
Just did a burnout.
They're bringing a third charter in, and he's driving the 88.
Oh, that was Kyle Larson.
So I'm glad I
ran somebody out of track.
So I'm glad I left RCR and went to Trackhouse because I get to cheer on the 88 again.
Is Dylan still undecided?
Oh, Chase Elliott. Never mind.
He renewed a contract.
Oh, that's fine. That's good. Yeah.
I take no responsibility. Seth. Chase Elliott sucks.
Got Elliott.
That fucking wild pack of dogs right there.
Oh, never mind. Who's that?
That was a cluster
Has to come to the attention of the crew, and Reddick
that was Chase
turned
Elliott
around on the nose of the 8.
Haley was behind.
Emotional damage.
Tyler Reddick.
Dude, I've been sick of this race since we started, dude. Can we get out of Watkins Glen?
Dude, we wrecked on lap. We didn't even make it a lap.
I'm fucking pretty sure on that first corner right there, they were 11 wide.
Can we get out of Watkins Glen, please?
I love the Glen. I love this track.
So I think Gilliland may have got on
It
the
looked
drive.
like
we
a
go,
fucking cone of
baby.
doom
His car that
from the
All right,
front
Griffin,
to
here
the
we
back.
go. Second half.
Which caused
Chris,
that
we
effect.
could have went to the
There's
IMSA
Marv.
race
There's
with the
Marv.
Glen.
Now you get 75 more fucking caution laps. God, NASCAR sucks.
Caught.
Trey McBride.
Short shoot, it just doesn't work. I'm actually more
11
so
of 13.
And the Lions.
Today.
Okay, here's my takeaways. Are the Cardinals back or the Lions ass? That's what.
It might be a little bit of both.
I think it's a little of both.
You're right.
We
on
are
one.
playing exponentially better than I thought we would play in the first two games. The offense exists.
The Lions are indeed ass, and I love watching them mag dump their foot to lose. God, that fucking makes my day so much better.
I'm just pissed that the Colts couldn't get it done against Green Bay, but Green Bay had 112 rushing yards before half.
This
So
humming, bro. Let's go. Come on.
no, I'm not either.
So all they got's a short pass and the fucking run, and the Bears will stop both. It'll be awesome.
The 11 of Denny Hamlin gets the free pass. We'll see if that turns.
Our defense is built to stop the run, though.
I like seeing Goff throwing 2 picks, losing to Baker Mayfield at home, and the Lions just absolutely imploding on themselves.
Look at the 5 car.
Yeah, look, Seth, we run the whoever that is out of track.
Like, when they caught the ball at halftime, there was 8 seconds on the clock, so they all ran up, and with 3 seconds left, they spiked the ball, so they had plenty of time. But somebody thought...
Yeah, but it started when we run somebody out of track.
That the special teams unit could get out there and kick a field goal in 8 seconds.
Yeah.
How fucking
Gregston, I
stupid.
think.
No, that's Todd Gill.
That's Todd Gill.
all started trying to protect that position. No one wants to
And
be
Kyle
in
Busch
that
said,
second
yeah, let me
groove
just do
I know.
of these
Hold it,
S's.
please.
Joey Logano talked about it. There's all the marbles
Doesn't matter where
built
we
up
run.
up
Run on the
there,
back,
so
run
you
on the
don't want to
front,
be there. So
doesn't
you're
matter.
trying to protect. You're trying to get to the bottom of the
We're up
racetrack.
to like 11th.
NASCAR has finally caught up to iRacing.
It's really been the theme.
Well, the physics are accurate because
opening lap and this
every time I see a car fly into the stratosphere after making the lightest contact with another car, it's accurate.
There is damage. They're going to come to pit road, Lee. Before these last 2 cautions, Martin Truex Jr. was sitting in 11th.
I swear to God, he has a fucking
right now, he is
Patrick
18
Mahomes
below
tattoo
the
on the
cut
head
line.
of his
Here
dick.
was
I
his
guarantee
reaction
it.
to that accident.
Walks up to little boys. Hey, you want to kiss Patrick? Kiss
No, he got Mahomes cock molded, so now he's got a Mahomo dildo. That's what he sits on every game.
Who, Romo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very upset.
It's because Romo's the quarterback, or Mahomes the quarterback Romo never was.
I do not know what we need to do.
And I hate Mahomes.
So frustrating.
Go, Kyler.
Last half of the season here.
Oh, just run! Let's go! Oh my God!
Look at the midget! Oh, he almost died.
Die, please.
Yeah, the Cardinals Rams.
Oh, good.
Oh, baby.
Well, and
Who's
from what I've
streaming
seen
that?
on the
Dawson.
2 restarts, you know,
He's
I don't
Kyle
know how
Larson.
much
Oh,
we can have.
dude.
I think the
Kyle
stories are going to continue
Larson.
to grow.
Yeah.
Young money.
I know, right? Ew.
Hung money.
Kyle Larson. Hey, Mr. I get
Look at him
assaulted by a
escaping.
black man and I don't even punch him in the face? That's
Yeah.
pussy ass.
With thanks to
He almost died.
Number 3 was headhunting.
Concussed.
What have you seen so far? How have you
Oh no, it's
enjoyed
Tua.
your day?
Tua's the fucking guy.
Tua Schmoop Queen.
What I'm expecting is more chaos here. Gloves are
They're not
off.
giving Marv any
It's gonna be a
space
bare
anymore.
knuckler
Do they
to,
want to
settle
listen
this
for
one this
that?
afternoon.
Well, you guys just got to keep running the ball, dude. The run game is unstoppable right now.
Let's go.
Well, if they make it past
How's Harrison doing so far this game?
Last I checked, 4 catches, 131 yards, and 2 scores.
Woo!
Well, we haven't really seen any wrecks.
His first 2 touches of today's game were touchdowns.
Banging off of each other all day long.
Okay.
And then another opportunity to make some sort of pass or a maneuver. It's
pretty good.
I mean,
If this is a play action bootleg, it's a play action bootleg, right? It's going to be his 3rd touchdown.
Oh yeah, it's wild. And
nope.
No play action.
This reminds me.
Oh, this is
we
whoa.
talked about over the last several
Oh,
years.
get through that.
Can we ball?
First and goal.
Well, that's
Five.
The offense is humming today. What are we doing?
You're playing the Whams. They lost to the fucking Lions.
Believe that we won't get another one. And
They lost to a coin flip.
5 wide, and then you have to funnel down.
Yeah, and everybody on all the sports media that I was listening to all week to get me through my workday. Dude, the Lions on that overtime drive, that's a championship winning drive right there. Like, that's a team that I have confidence in the Super Bowl. And it's just like, are we serious?
The defense that just lost Aaron Donald. That's kind of a huge void to fill.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Aiden Hutchinson had 5 fucking sacks and they lost. I love it.
Marv. Oh.
Wheel spin.
I love it.
For Marv again.
I'm cool with them overhyping the Lions, so when they absolutely shit the bed, everyone can make fun of them and I can laugh. Well,
I called them to win 4 games this year. And
if they're going to win more than
You
that.
pointed out that Denny Hamlin got the free pass. This is the
I said
second
7.
in this
Why don't
race
you
that
shit
that's
on my
happened for
dreams,
the member who's
Dawson?
involved in that last
I'm not
one.
doing-
Was
no.
involved in an instant. The S's that card somewhat staying together.
7 and 10.
In NFL history was when the Lions went winless, dude. That was the greatest thing I've ever fucking seen. I talked so much shit that year. Felt so
Parker
good.
William Byron was in that gnarly
End zone.
Brad Keselowski.
Touchdown.
He came down the
High step him.
the car as best they can. Williams saying the
Let's go,
is
dude.
not right.
Come
Something
on.
is wrong. Rudy Fugel
And yeah, another team, I think Cleveland did it, but they
Yeah.
still always say Lions.
This team's going to
the first
playoffs.
team to ever go winless.
And cars end up not
Let's
being able
not
to
get
finish the
carried
race.
away.
That's just a
COD hasn't came out yet, Dawson. Pump the brakes a little bit.
He played well after COD was out last year.
Yeah, well, COD was ass last year, so it's actually going to be
Presented by Credit One Bank.
Green flag.
Pusher on the left.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
SVG on the
Give it
inside.
30 seconds.
Yeah, probably.
Do we finish
Oh, Shane.
SVG.
Oh, he ran Busher wide. No, Carson. To the lead goes Van Vervander.
He goes. SVG.
Oh, Briscoe.
Pusher now to second. Third now will be Carson Husavar.
Go, Shane Van.
Bro, no way, not again.
Top 4 breakaway came Chris Busher. Get it regathered.
Anybody else gonna wreck here before we get back to the one?
Charge at Shane Van Gisbergen.
Sudokoville.
Into the bus stop well.
Somebody wrecking here
Top
before we
two
get to the one?
is steered away from the field. Now Busher sideways, hustling that 17 car as he tries to track down Shane Van Gisbergen through the carousel. Top 2
Oh, bye.
away out of 5.
Bye, Hostivar. Michigan zone.
From SVG to the 17.
Busher may get there. Will they make it to the white?
He has a
Terry knew he don't drive
use
us.
the same tactic, but I don't think he can. I think SVG has the fastest race car.
What is Busher willing to do to win? Oh, Chastain's way wide.
Shows his experience.
One lap to go to
Hi.
What is Chris Busher willing to do? White flag.
White flag. Next flag.
Larson, just don't die. Don't die. Just finish where we're at. Don't die.
And no matter what happens on this lap, the race will be determined.
Gisbergen?
A little bit wide. He ran a little bit wide.
Oh, God. Some stuff going on behind.
Marcus Ambrose.
Ross is going crazy.
The wall, dude.
Spectacular victory being
Ross is being Ross.
No, Busher's not going to get there.
Co-owners of the team of the car doing the chasing.
He's going to have to try something ridiculous.
He's gonna have to try to send him.
No, he's closing it, it looks like.
Marcus will be back in Australia.
He's going to have to.
Oh!
He's there! Oh, he's going to wreck him! He wrecked him! Oh, he moved him!
Get him, Chris!
What a move! Uh-oh, hang on. He didn't
Hit him, Shane! Hit him, Shane!
Far enough away.
Come on, Chris!
Oh, Spartan's third!
Come on,
Give it back to him? Give it back to him? Ah, lame. He's going to ride in line away.
No, Shane.
He's out of control. He's out of control.
Yeah, Shane gave it to him.
Came out a little hot.
What a move by Busher on the last lap.
That was a great move.
To not even wreck it? That's, wow.
Top 10 for
Wow.
I think we finished 14th. We finished 12th. Let's go.
All of Spire got their cars in the top 10.
Suarez to 13th. Let's go.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you were like 28, yeah.
Yeah, Suarez is the Trackhouse car that is in the
This
playoffs.
week we're not going to have to win. I like it.
Like 28.
Me amigos should be good too.
Damn, are they showing that? No, I want to see that move again. That was awesome.
SVG behind, down into turn 1.
That's
Slight contact from the 16 to the 17 gets him a little out of shape and just overcooks the corner. SVG gets to inside and clears him up the S's.
It was on from this point.
Oh, Cooper Kupp doubtful to return against the Rams or the Cardinals.
Incredibly well, but this is where Busher got the run.
Oh yeah, he got loose there. SVG did a little bit.
Yep. I think that's why Busher had enough of a run to do that.
Damn. He still made a great fucking move.
Yeah.
To not wreck him, that was impressive.
Yes. Yeah.
It doesn't happen much anymore.
Final match of the Rocket League World Championships up in 8 minutes. Well, probably like 15 to 20 minutes.
And then, what a set of corners to close it in. Didn't allow the
That
16
was the
to get to
win
him
Chris
on board with
Busher
Busher.
needed. Heck
This
yeah.
was the winning move.
He's in the playoffs, right?
No.
Nope.
Unfortunately
Oh,
not,
no?
but It was
Damn.
it's a redeeming
Gives
win
him a
because
little
he didn't make
nudge,
the playoffs.
unsettles the 16.
He's in the
and says,
second
"I'm coming through to
playoffs."
get this victory."
He's in the losers bracket
This is
playoffs.
why
Yeah,
Walker
losers
Glen
bracket
sells
playoffs,
out.
yeah.
Finish after finish after finish.
Finally,
It's
after being
Busher's
cut
speed through the
multiple
S's
times
that
by
forces this mistake. If he
drivers.
loses to
Well,
the
and
S's,
cucking himself once at
SVG
Darlington,
knows
but
it. He'll look in the mirror. He'll easily get in there,
He
Jeff.
finally
But the
did it.
pressure of the 17 forced the mistake out of SVG.
Look at on board a Busher. Contact
Oh,
with the
Shane
wall.
clipped the
That
wall.
Right there. Remember,
clipped
that
the wall
is
and
a
got
change
loose.
to the racetrack. SVG so good.
Who puts a wall
at
there?
Using all of the racetrack.
Man, I can't wait to see all the
That's where he
SVG
gets his
like,
speed. Just
fans
a little
clown
bit too
Busher.
much.
That
Got
would
on the
be
high
the
side
guys
of
that
the
built the
curbs.
track
A
stupid.
little bit of contact with the wall, but the high side of the curb,
Finally
Steve,
did it,
that's what
dude.
got
That's
his car
awesome.
out of shape.
And what a drive by
Didn't make it,
what a
Stafford.
drive by Busher.
Let's
It's
get
Chris
down there,
Barnes.
Marty
Let's go,
Snyder
baby. And they're
standing by.
punting
Hear
again.
From one of the nice guys of the sport, Chris Busher, victorious here at the Glen.
Wasn't nice to Reddick at Darlington, but
There's a
whatever.
reason, Diff. This is the ninth
Curious to see the
straight
cut
year
line because we
Purcell
finished
out
above
here
a lot of
Watkins.
playoffs.
I know. I'm curious. I want to see where Suarez.
28.
Deliver a win a few weeks late for Chris
It's
Busher.
the win he needed, though.
But I'm sure it was worth the wait. Wow, Chris, walk me through the restart
Damn,
with
look at them
SVG
Rams.
Oh, you
and then
see them like-
resizing up a move, and were you surprised when he sort of made that bobble?
With how that race went, maybe.
Austin Dillon
Good
and
build
Christopher Bell
summaries.com
going in.
Ford Mustang. Steve is so
No.
great.
Greg
Speed
Dortch.
was just phenomenal.
I think
And,
Chase Elliott in the
All
back.
right.
thought we lost
Oh,
the
still up.
Last
I
one,
think
and
Chase Elliott.
just
I recovered something out of
to
nothing.
stay
No
right there with him.
personality.
That was the spot
I
that he was
marked
better than
Goulet
us,
over there.
and he missed it. Missed it. So I tried to cross over, and he went to cut, and just hard race there, but just such an awesome finish to be that good for so much at the end of the race, all race, to get a win. It's good. We came here to be spoiled.
You excited for that game tonight, Griff?
Fuck
yeah.
from not being in the
That's gonna be a good ass fucking
There's
game.
my 50.
Want to see C-Dub do some special stuff.
Weeks ago, but this is huge.
Bears by
Me on the
150
board.
out.
Me on the board in
Everybody on
fantasy,
case
bro.
worked so hard, and to
I want to see
Caleb Williams has
Caleb
12
Williams throw
touchdowns.
for,
so close
I want to
so
see
many
Caleb
times,
throw
to
for
finally pull
3
that off.
TDs and
It's
412 yards.
I'd go crazy.
I'm giving him
I'm
another
gonna write
chance.
this. I'm
Fantasy.
gonna write this down. He's gonna go 3
I got a
TDs,
deeper
412
dive
yards,
and, I think I still
94
had a good
QB
shot,
rating.
feeling that that it was probably gonna bottom out.
I'm giving him another chance in
Hold
fantasy.
on.
I thought about-
Run that back
thought about
again.
me
Run that
going
back
for
again.
it.
big moment, big opportunity for
3
us.
TDs, 412 yards, and 94 QBR.
This team wanted to come in and play. Spoiler, they did it.
93 QBR?
With his first ever
94
win in the Cup Series.
And what an incredible battle, Marty. Catching up
All
here.
right,
there you go. I put it in our DMs.
Yeah, okay, fuck yeah. Dude.
Drive error, yeah. Just
Let's
I knew
go,
Chris
Caleb
was really
Williams.
Gonna send it and push me if he could get there, and
Griffin's
got a bit loose and
blood brother.
C-dub. G-dub.
Weather tech tomorrow was really
We'll
good.
smoke a little
The
smoky
race
treat.
was awesome with Ross.
Same
and
here, I
Chris
shall
and
return.
the others at the
Some of
end.
the shit that I actually
We
packed.
couldn't get it, but I had a lot of fun, but I'm pretty angry at myself.
I see you smiling though through the anger there. You used
like-
the
I
bumper
like
down in turn
saying
one.
he-
You
I like
used
my
the
dress.
bumper there into the carousel. Is that fair play
Dad,
there since you used it?
you like my dress?
I think so. Yeah, it was just a little bump to get him wide, and I knew I was gonna get it back, so that's why I was pushing so hard. And
My Relacker jersey
It is
is
what
a
it is,
little,
but just
little
got-
big.
You can tell, guys, it was a crazy race.
Oh,
an awesome
Loki
race,
getting a
but still
massage?
smiling there, if I should say.
That was one to remember. Unreal final lap by both drivers. And Chris Buescher was
Buescher made the move he
denied
had
a
to
win
make.
to get into the playoffs back in
Awesome.
Kansas by 1,000th of a second. He
Yeah,
gets
you
his
can't
revenge
even
here
like you
by
can't even
winning
be
at
mad about
Glen's
that
first
move
road
either.
course
Like,
victory.
Oh yeah, by the way, Spire
move.
got
First
all
win
their
in just
cars
over a
in the top
year.
10.
Pretty
bruh,
big for our
flipping
FA as
flipping
well.
burgers
Having
top
multiple
10.
race winners in a single
I
year.
think it's the first time
But this
Spire's
one
got
will
all
go
their cars
down
in the top
big. It
10.
stings for Shane Van Gisbergen. It's
One
his
of the
race.
Spire cars is making the playoffs next year. Don't know which one it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be Hocevar. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Hocevar.
We've got a
They
whole
foul
lot
might
more to
make it
come.
71.
That's
We don't
why
know
this
who's
is an
taking
annual
over
classic. How
McDowell's
good
winning
was
Sonoma.
that? The Go Bowling at the Glen.
Calling
Love
that
to
now.
see it. W. Chris Buescher.
W. Chris Buescher. It's a good win for everybody. He didn't have the result we wanted, but
Yeah, Denny Hamlin got wrecked. Logano's a dumbass, and
Well, Denny Hamlin got wrecked, but recovered to finish 23rd and is only 6 points below the cut line.
who was that? Is that Ryan Priest?
he'll be alright. We'll be alright.
I thought it was Shane, is it not?
No, it was a guy in blue.
Oh.
Where's Suarez sitting? Like seventh, probably like 12 points to the good.
They'll probably show it after commercial break.
Oh.
They didn't say anything.
So I know before the race he was 9 plus 6. I
Bride,
think.
make it out of a tackle. Nice, third and short.
Can Chris Buescher be the spoiler
go,
that we
dude.
see this season? Can he be the
If we go up 5 touchdowns against the Rams, I may run laps around my apartment, bro. I didn't even think we were gonna win this game. I didn't even know if we were gonna be within 1 possession. Let alone be up 31-3 in the third.
Oh, he does that bowling pin. He's here.
Oh no!
Bowling pin's here.
Oh no!
The Go Bowling.
It's like the lug nut guy at Charlotte, dude. What a weirdo.
Dude, we finished 27.
DJ taking a picture with Lugnut, go crazy.
Not a good day to be off.
Marvin the slot on third down uncovered.
Presented by
Okay, going to Michael Wilson. Oh my!
And boy, is there a lot to
What are you chuckling about?
on what went down here in the Finger
Napoleon
Lakes
Dynamite's
area
brother.
of New York.
Oh.
So picturesque, and this
All right, here it is, gentlemen.
Yes, plus 26. Let's go,
30.
dude.
Woo! We're sitting good.
I'll take it. Look at Alex. Look at Austin Cindric.
Cindric plus 43 is wild.
Amigo?
Get Denny Hamlin out of here.
Junior came in 19th.
Insurance, get him out of here too. Bracket stay in, but get Ty Gibbs out of here.
Look at Chase Briscoe plus 6. Okay.
Dude, Austin Cindric plus 43, Mi Amigo plus 36.
Let's go, mi amigo.
Oh, Kyler almost fell handing the ball off.
You know, our research Camry was it was solid. Needed to be better on long runs for sure, but you know, we worked
What?
persevered.
So unless something absolutely like catastrophic happens, I think Suarez should be okay.
Well, conveniently, we're heading to a track that's not exactly known for chaos, Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I know. Goofy.
Just got pushed 3 or 4 wide in the
I want to go, but if I go, I run the risk of Denny Hamlin winning
No.
again.
And you run the catching the wrath of me. You're just gonna wake up one morning for work. I'm gonna be standing in your room like, "Hi, Dawson."
Kyler.
I told you, motherfucker.
What a throw!
It's just crazy. That,
Oh my goodness, Kyler Murray.
always come down to this. And,
What shit defense? Double
really
covered. Neither
Double
one was
covered.
looking for the ball.
That's good. Double covered.
Neither one of these guys was
You
looking
can't
for the
even
ball,
know.
bro.
You can't even make fun of me on that one.
Watch this.
Yeah, just it It is what it is these days.
Oh, they were both. Okay.
14, they'll go
Good
to
throw.
Bristol,
I'll
but
give it to you.
remember, finished second there. So
McBride come down with that.
It's only because he's wearing Air Force Ones.
They've been very good there in the past.
You know, Lee, there's a lot of drivers I would question because I don't think that they.
All I know is
those shoes or those cleats are only made by the finest of sweatshop children.
All I know is if I don't see Cole Kmet more than I see Gerald Everett tonight, I'm driving to Hallis Hall and I'm slapping our offensive coordinator in the face.
Everett. Isn't he like 35?
Those guys just doesn't use tight ends for anything but blockers.
Well, that's why. Well, Everett's more of a wide receiver playing tight end.
That's why we lost Greg Olson to the Panthers.
Well, if he wants tight ends to, Kmet can block. Kmet's the better blocker and the bigger body.
There's a lot of NFL offenses that don't use tight ends as receivers. They're only blockers.
Which is so dumb.
Yes.
Tight ends are so underrated.
We had one of the best receiving tight ends ever, and they hired a fucking guy named Mike Marks that doesn't ever, he never used tight ends as receivers. They were only blockers, and they traded Olsen for like a 5th round pick to the Panthers.
You know, there are so many people that still have
Sounds like the Bears to me.
Yeah, he was our leading receiver like 3 years in a row, and then they traded him for a 5th rounder.
Well, thankfully, we actually have competent front office people now, so
we'll see it next week again.
I trust Ryan Poles.
A sure thing to win this race.
And somebody on the podcast I listened to made a very good, like a good pitch.
Let's go.
So you know how Poles and his right hand man, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Like you know how they're real close. Well, to keep him with the Bears instead of going to another team to be a GM, you promote Poles to president of football operations, and you put his right